Okay, so welcome everybody to the Dream to Reality Professional Business Training Virtual Orientation Day. I am your host and presenter, Michelle N. Samuel, and I'm also the main facilitator of the project of the 7-week training course. And I would like to thank you for joining us this morning on this momentous occasion. I am wearing my touch of purple. I'm not sure if you can see. It has a lot of green in it, but it has a little bit of purple in it. I tried to get something purple, and that was the best I could come up with. I'm hoping that everybody has a bit of purple as well. That was one of the recommendations. Um, so we're going to start out with prayer. So please bow your head with me. Father, Lord, I want to thank you for the breath of life. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for everything you have given us and blessed us with. Father, Lord, in the midst of these times, we need you even more. And we ask and pray for our safety, for our health, not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones, our families, and friends. Father, Lord, I ask and I pray that you please continue to protect us as we go along through the day, through the weeks, through the months to come. And Father, Lord, I ask and pray that you please pass your healing hands over those who are sick, who are not too well, those of us who are in pain for whatever reason. And Father, Lord, I ask and I pray that you please preside over this day, over this meeting, and so that we can have a successful event. This I ask and I pray in your Son Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for indulging me in prayer. And I will begin with my presentation. I will be sharing my screen with you, so please let me know in the chat whether you can see my screen. It's really important that you're able to see it. So once you can see it, please let me know, and I'll let you know as soon as I share it.
I cannot see the screen.
I'm not sharing as yet. One moment.
Okay.
Okay. One moment. Mhm. Okay, so I'm opening it up now. Okay, here we go. Okay. Can you see my screen as yet?
No, not as
No, I
yet.
can't.
Not as yet? Okay.
No.
Let me
No.
see. Okay, one moment. Can you see the screen now? Please let me know as soon as you can see
Loading.
it.
Yes, I can see it loading.
You can see
Yeah.
it?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to start with the presentation. Okay. Okay. So again, welcome to the orientation. And I already introduced myself as Michelle and Samuel. So we will be hearing presentations by, this is my presentation, but we'll also be hearing presentations by our partner agencies. Some of the guest speakers will be serving as co-facilitators of the course, the US Embassy officials and US Department of State officials, as well as some others. So in terms of Dream to Reality, the Dream to Reality course basically is, oh, one moment. Let me just give you a brief overview as to who I am, my background. So I am a 2017, and the YLI that you see there stands for Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative. And I'm a 2017 professional fellow. I'm also a 2018 YLI ambassador to St. Lucia. In other words, I help to recruit and to sensitize persons about the YLI program and encourage them to apply every year when it does open. I'm also a member of the YLI network. And of course, all of you ladies who will be participating in the Dream to Reality course will become YLI network members as well. I'm also a 2020 recipient of a YLI Entrepreneurship Ecosystems Everywhere Initiative grant from the US Department of State, which is why you are taking part in this pilot project. So what is Dream to Reality? Dream Builder in itself is a series of 13 online business course modules. And the goal of the program is to help women entrepreneurs like yourself achieve success. So the course is included in the program over the basics of starting a business with relevant topic areas. Now, there are certain topics that you will be covering in the course, such as marketing, finance, and accounting. Now, the course is set up in an interactive format, meaning that you will be guided by an animated character, and you're following her journey and her story, getting introduced to the startup business world. And you as well are following the story with this animated character named Sarah. And the host of the course is Alma. So what I'm saying is that the course will basically be interacting with you. So as information is provided to you, you're going to be asked to answer certain questions. You're also going to be asked to input information onto the platform. So that is why we're saying that the course is interactive. So the majority of the course online through Dream Builder is via video and interactive videos. You're also going to be seeing testimonials from past alumni of the Dream Builder program and also entrepreneurs just like you. So they will also be sharing their case scenarios, their real life experiences with you so that you have an idea as to who else has this project or this program benefited. So you ladies are not alone. As a matter of fact, you're 40 of over 100,000 women across the globe who have enrolled in the Dream Builder program. And I'm really grateful. I'm really excited that you guys get to be a part of it. And you are the first cohort of this in St. Lucia. So you should be really excited about this project, and it's a really big deal. So this is something that you should be really proud of. Now, throughout the program, you will have what you call a business plan generator. And what this does is that it helps you as you go through each module, you're inputting information as you learn. And that helps you to generate your business plan towards the end of the course. So at the time that you finish, all of the information that you would have entered from module 1, all the way down to module 13, you will now have a compiled, comprehensive, very explanatory business plan that you can use and then present to an investor, present to a potential partner, or actually present to potential employees. So your business plan has various purposes, it has various functions, and of course, as you go through the course, you will understand what these functions are. So Dream to Reality is centered around Dream Builder, as I said, and it is a training program developed through a partnership between Arizona State University's Thunderbird School of Management and Freeport McNaram. So they basically partner together to create Dream Builder in an effort to empower women and women entrepreneurs. Now, the 40 of you are just exceptional. I mean, you were selected from a very competitive process. And this process took a period of roughly under 1 week. And the selection team had a task in really selecting the final candidates. It was not easy. As I said, it is very competitive because not everybody who applies to do the course will be selected. Some may not be eligible based on the criteria of the pilot. For example, we had to set an age limit or an age group. And some persons were really upset and disappointed that they did not fit into the age group for the course. But just a reminder that I had to mention to them, this is just the pilot. Whenever you're running a pilot or hosting a pilot of a project, you always must set a set of criteria that you follow in order to have some sort of management and control. So it's like a focus group to see how this course really impacts that particular genre of persons that the criteria meets. So the course is not for everybody. For example, if you are a young woman who is fully employed, who doesn't have the time to run a business or to even start a business, then this course would not be for you. However, there are, of course, exceptions to that rule. If you are fully employed, but you're not fully employed to the point where you do not have sufficient time where you can, and you do have extra time that you can juggle running a business and being employed, then by all means, this is a course for you. Another another set criteria for this particular pilot is that we wanted to open up the course for women within the northern districts of the island. And that had to do with the blended class. So the online only version, anybody basically, as long as they fit the major criteria, with the exception of the age, anybody, any woman would be able to take that course. But for the blended class, since I would have had to be doing face-to-face sessions with you guys, I had to basically schedule my time around the northern parts of the island, and we had to meet at one central location. And what I opted to do was to deal with the northern parts. And then after the first pilot, and I call it the first pilot, because my hope is to replicate this and do it again, but for persons in the south. And it just happened to be that there was a blessing out of the crisis that we faced, in that now we no longer had to meet face to face. We can now engage with each other online. So that now opened up the platform for all the women who fit the criteria around the island to now apply and then take the course. And I'm really excited that we have persons from the northern parts of the island all the way down to Vfort. So we have persons from all districts who are making part of the pilot project. Initially, the project was geared towards just 12 women because that is what my proposal had. The entire idea was to engage a minimum of 12 women as the focus group to launch this pilot and then test this project and see how they thought of it. But then, lo and behold, as the application process proceeded and progressed, more women and more women and more women wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to be a part of it to the point where they started calling and messaging and pleading at all hours of the night. I think I made a slight error by putting my phone number up because I was getting messages at 1 in the morning, at 2 in the morning, and I was like, wow, these people don't sleep. But then, I understand that. That's fine because I don't get much sleep either. Because when you're in the startup world, there are a lot of sacrifices that you make in order to get to your desired goal or your desired outcome. So the sacrifice of losing a bit of sleep sometimes does come in. So I am just really excited that so many of you wanted to be a part of it. So we went from 12 women to now 40 women. So congratulations, all of you. You all made it thus far. You should be so proud of yourself because you will be the very first cohort of the Dream to Reality Professional Business Training course in St. Lucia. So I would like you to please give yourself a round of applause. Great job, all of you. You are
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So in terms of the stats, I wanted to give you an idea as to the status of the businesses of our applicants. Okay. So if you look here, you would see this largest section here, 39.3%, that represents startup. So these are the women who are in the startup stages of their business. Now, startup in our sense, in our terms in society, we consider a startup um, anywhere from ideation or 6 months in business up to about 3 years in business thereabout. So that is what we consider to be a startup. So 39.3% of you are in the startup stage, okay? If you look here, the second largest piece of the pie is 35.7%, and these are ideation. So these women, they have not started businesses yet, but they have an idea. They have an idea that they feel so passionate about that they want to turn it into a viable business. And let me tell you, ideas are great, but they really can't do anything unless you do something with them. I have had several conversations with persons who have made the statement, this person stole my idea. That person stole my idea. How many of you have ever encountered that type of situation where you have said, this person stole my idea?
A lot of times.
Right. And that is something that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. However, let me just dispel this at this point in time. You may not agree with me, but let me just dispel this. In actual fact, an idea isn't really yours until you brand it as yours,
Very
until you
true.
do something with it and claim it as yours. So until you do something with the idea, it's just something intangible in your head. So there are many people who think alike. They have this term called like-minded individuals, where you find persons coming up with the same ideas that you came up with, but you can't claim it because it is intangible. It was in your head. You can't claim something that's in your head that hasn't been done with as yet. If, for example, you take this idea and then you create it into a name, it's not tangible, but you can register this name and say, this is mine. The paper with the name of it is what's tangible. So that's what you can claim. You can claim the name because there's a paper to certify that the name belongs to you. And then the idea behind the name, once you copyright it, of course, belongs to you. But unless you do something with this idea, it's not yours. It's shared. So until you do something, it is still an idea, and it's basically any man's ball game. Okay. So in your case, in you guys, in you ladies' cases, those of you who are in the ideation stage, most of you either are thinking about something or you already have it on paper. And all you're missing to do basically is to start the process. And this is why you're here. So no matter what stage you're at in the ideation area or category, remember, unless you have this paper with the name registered and saying this is mine, the idea is not yours. And another thing that you need to also understand is that whatever the key ingredient is in that idea is you. And I need you to also embrace that because you are the one who is going to bring to fruition what your idea is. Several people may have the same idea and may try to execute it, but they will not all execute it the exact same way. You being the individual with your specific talents and skills will not do the same thing that somebody else somewhere else would have the same idea to execute. You can put your own unique spin on it. Okay? So that's what makes it yours. You are the key ingredient in your idea. So when you start thinking about this thing about people are stealing my ideas, I need you to consider these things first, that unless you claim it as yours by registering, for example, the name of the business and the nature of it, it's not yours. Or unless you have created something that makes it so unique, your unique value proposition of that idea, that it needs you in order to be executed, then it becomes yours as well. You are the key ingredient of that idea. And the smaller section here, which is 25%, this represents established businesses. So these are women in business for 3 years to 5 years. Okay, so these are women who have been around, who have had experience, who have basically failed at a couple of things, succeeded at other things, and they have a clear idea as to where they would like to go. But even in this case, there are some women who have been in business for 3 years or more who still have no idea what direction they're going into. They're basically keeping afloat. Whatever their business is doing is just keeping them afloat. And there are women in this case scenario. There are also women who have a business, but it's not fully operational. It's like it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. They start and they stop. So if you're in a seasonal business, then that's kind of where you would fall in. Especially with the tourism industry, your business would not be operational throughout the year. So that is what you call seasonal. And there are times when you have no customers at all. But there are always ways to keep persons engaged and up to date with your business. All you have to do is to keep up with the market. So in terms of this pie section here, so this is what our 40 women are comprised of: the ideation, startup, and established business stages. So what is going to happen is that we're going to have a wonderful mix of women who will be able to share experiences, real life insights, and those persons who have been there, done that, would be in a better position to give advice to those who are just starting off. So this is a movement where we are women who support women. We do not look at each other as competitors. We do not look at each other as women who want to take the spot of another woman, even though we may be in the same industry or though we may be in the same type of business. What we are trying to create with this movement is a supportive environment where we can collaborate and work together to make a bigger impact on whoever our beneficiaries are. Okay? Now, in terms of the industries, there were various lists of industries that the course was open to with regards to the criteria. So if you look here, you would see the major industry is creative, and that encompasses the arts, design, media, creative, and beauty. Okay? The second largest piece was here. 28.9% of you were in the commercial industry, and that is professional services, business management, legal, marketing, etc. Then, thirdly, we had this section here. 22.2% of you were in the retail industry, that is online, business to business, which is B2B, business to customer, which is B2C. So some of you are in the retail business. Then we had 11.1% of you in the services sector, and that includes administrative, secretarial, education, etc. Then finally, 8.9% of you are in the agro-processing industry, and that includes agriculture, farming, etc. So we have a really great cross-section of various industries of women who have businesses and ventures from various industries, but the majority appears to be creative. And that is not surprising at all, because as you know, as St. Lucians, we have a lot of talent and skill in the creative sector. A lot of us do have that. So that did not surprise me at all. So what I'm looking at is playing off of the skills and the strengths of others where those persons are a little bit weak in. So say, for example, there's some person who is in the agro-processing industry and they may need the service of somebody who they would need to assist them with their business. Then that person would be in this category here. If there's an individual who is not too savvy with creating logos or websites, then of course you would need to look at somebody in the creative industry and see if this person can assist you in possibly creating your website or a Facebook page or whatnot. Because remember, we are here to support one another. We each have strengths and we also have weaknesses. So what we need to do is to find out what those weaknesses are and find out who can contribute and then strengthen us in our business so that the weakness does not affect our productivity. Okay? Then, of course, our tagline, our theme, our slogan for this course is "Don't wait for change, create it." Now, I want to make this very interactive. When you guys saw this theme, what came to your mind? What do you think about when you see "Don't wait for change, create it"? What does that mean to you and to your business? What did you think it meant? So for answering to these questions, I would like you to, of course, state your name, and then you can go ahead and respond to the question. So I'm going to mute myself for now and allow you guys to answer this question. What does "Don't wait for change, create it" mean to you?
I'm Sherry. It meant to me to just get up and start, make it happen. Do not wait for tomorrow, make it happen now.
Great answer, really great answer. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm
Wendy.
Chantel.
Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Marika. Sometimes we expect other people to create the opportunities for us instead of going out to find them ourselves.
Okay, great answer as well. Anybody else?
Yeah, hey, my name is Keisha O'Sullivan. When I think of "Don't wait for change, create it," basically what comes to mind, basically says don't wait for somebody else to empower you. No matter how the odds are, you try to make a difference and you just work at it, and then you could see some sort of vision. So that's what I get from the slogan.
Okay, all really great answers, all really great. So we move on to, this is the end of it basically. And if you look here, these are just some words that we as women like to claim. Of course, "Don't wait for change, create it" is our theme. Love, empowered women, empower women, equality, and yes, we can do this. So whenever you have this, this feeling that you can't do it, just keep looking at this word. Yes, you can do it. So this is my information with regards to the course itself. So program director of the Entrepreneurship Readiness Program. This is the program which brings to you Dream to Reality. It is a program by Sledterra, which is my nonprofit organization. And this is the email, of course, that you guys can reach me on with regards to the course. And this is the website of the course. So if you have not gone to the website as yet, if you have not browsed through it as yet, if you have not bookmarked it, this is the link to the website. So it is sludtera.wixsite, that is WIXSITE.com, Dream to Reality course. So this is the official website of the course. This is where you can get a lot of the information about it. And of course, watch the video to see the Dream Builder program and how it came about, and to see who your speakers are, who will be engaging with you during the 7-week program, also who your mentors are, because after you complete the course, you'll be assigned mentors to assist you up to 3 months after you have completed the course. So go through it, read through it. If you have any questions about it, of course, let me know, and I will do my best to ensure that those questions are answered. So I have gone over my time. I'm just waiting on Hannah to join us. And as soon as she
I'm right
does,
here, Michelle.
okay, great.
I've been
So
here for 5 minutes.
okay, great. So I'm going to bow out now, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Hannah Fitz so that she can do her presentation with you. Welcome,
I'm
Hannah.
not sure if you've, thank you, Michelle. I'm not sure if you've already introduced me, or should I introduce myself?
Okay, I have not introduced you as yet, so I'll let you do that.
Okay, great. Well, great to be here, everyone. My name is Hannah Fitz. I'm an international brand strategist and business coach. I work with in-demand experts and entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants around the world who want to build a world-class brand online and a lifestyle for freedom. So basically, we help our clients not only take their brand online, but take their business global. Through various proprietary systems that we use to work with entrepreneurs.
Okay, great. So you guys understood all of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
Sure. So Michelle, what would you like me to share next? Because I'm not sure what I'm meant to be doing now.
Okay, so what you're going to basically be doing is telling them a bit more about your business, what it is that you do, and how what you do fits into the program. And of course, you will be one of the co-facilitators during our marketing module. So just to give them ideas to what to expect. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, you know, lots of people start a business, they have an idea, they know that, you know, they probably have a gift or skill or some kind of product that you want to put out there into the world. The issue with a lot of entrepreneurs is most people don't have clarity on how they're going to put it out into the world. They don't have a clear plan on how to successfully not only put it out there, because it's one thing to have an idea, and it's another thing to be able to reach the right people with your idea, to be able to sell your ideas and to turn it into a profitable or lucrative business. And so that is the work that I do. A brand is not so much about the logo or the website you create. My work as a brand strategist is to help businesses become more desirable in the market. And so we always look at how do we make the brand more desirable? How do we increase desire? And we do this leveraging different tools. I'm looking forward to sharing with you on the marketing module in this program. If you want to learn more about me and my work, you can find it at www.hannahfitz.com. That's HANNAFITZ.com. We work with clients on different continents all over the world, primarily Europe, North America, UK, Asia. And I work in a variety of industries as well, but we do tend to specialize with service-based entrepreneurs. We have various online courses and resources that we make available to entrepreneurs, including my private coaching. One of the things that I've decided to do to support this work that Michelle is doing and to sort of give back to the community is to offer two places, at least two passes to our brand dossier. And the brand dossier is a collection of online tools and resources for savvy entrepreneurs. You'll also be able to access in there a masterclass that I did. And this masterclass, typically the programs that we host are very high end. And so the people who you're going to see, if you're one of the people who get access to it, these people pay $20,000 US to be able to access this class. So when you get access to this brand dossier, you're going to be able to be a part of this class that other entrepreneurs had paid for. Excuse me, if you're going to speak to someone, you should, hello, you should put your phone on mute. I think you're wearing a black top with little, yes. Great. So yeah, if you're not speaking, maybe it's great to for everyone to put your mic on mute. It just helps also with the audio. And so, yeah, so you want to make sure. So again, I'm really excited to make this resource available to you. I know Michelle wants me to also share about our Global Brand Creation Academy. And this is I would say it's like a mentorship program, but it's also training on how to build not only a successful brand, but a successful business, how to market yourself, how to get that out there into the world. And the main objective of the program is to help entrepreneurs hit their first 6 figures. You know, a lot of people want to have a multi-million-dollar business, and that's great. For a lot of entrepreneurs, the hardest part is hitting that first 6 figures and doing it in a way that's profitable. And so this program is really designed to help entrepreneurs get to that first 6-figure level and then to catapult their brand to 7 figures or wherever you want to go from there. So I'm really excited to be a part of it. The fact that all of you are showing up here today in the midst of the crisis and everything that we have going on, it shows that you're truly dedicated to growth, that you're dedicated to seeing your company go to the next level. As an entrepreneur, there will be a lot required of you to be able to grow. I know even on my own journey, it took a lot of me not only enjoying resources like the work Michelle is doing is really important because it gives you access to a lot of amazing resources for free. But there comes a point also in your entrepreneurial journey where you have to also look at getting yourself to the point where you can begin to invest. Because one thing that I'll tell you about the energy of investing in your growth in your business and taking the chances, like, you know, you might think like, we're in a crisis right now, I should hold back. Like, this is really the time for you to step up and step forward, because there are great opportunities, new opportunities that are evolving even right now. Like, if you have your eyes open, you're going to see new business opportunities emerging in the midst of COVID-19. But you also have to be prepared to take chances. You have to be prepared to take risk. You know, the entrepreneurs you see out there who are growing multi-million-dollar businesses, if you ever ask them what it took to get there, it wasn't just passion. It wasn't just dedication. It was about going the extra mile, whether they were able to, you know, face banks. The banks are closed now, but, you know, face banks to get loans, or face family members and ask and raise money to be able to fund your dream. Like, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to invest at the level that you desire to go. So this is the advice that I would leave with each and every one of you. Take advantage of all the free resources that you can, but your goal should be to make enough money to be able to invest and keep investing in growth and development at a certain level, because there's a certain energy that happens when you begin to expand and tell the universe, yes, I believe in my dream enough to invest in it, right? And you're going to see doors open for you in that way. So that's what I want to leave you with. I want you to also know that I know, and Michelle knows this, I'm glad she's doing it, because I've shared with her my policy of not doing any free, I do free trainings like webinars, and I have free ebooks, but I don't give my coaching and my programs free, because people tend to, when they have something free, they don't invest enough time because they have not invested in it. And so you have a real opportunity before you. And I'm asking you, Michelle is investing in you by making this available. You need to show up and invest in yourself by being diligent, by following through, by showing up consistently, and really showing gratitude for this gift, because it really is a gift, right? And so when you show up in that way, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you have this opportunity and you're not showing up fully, chances are you're not showing up fully in your business as well. So this is a time for you to really reflect and commit within yourself to show up 100%, to connect deeply with your goals and your desires of what you desire to achieve, and to commit to doing what it takes to get there, including having the discipline to be able to take action on things that you'll be learning in this program. So, Michelle, I hope this was sufficient. Where is Michelle? Is she gone?
I'm here. Thank you so much, Hannah. You could not have said it any better. You covered every single end, especially even down to the investment part of it. And that is something that I'm going to be ringing in you ladies' ears during the 7-week course, because a part of it is investing in yourself before others can invest in you. So that's something that you have to definitely um, marry and marinate in your head, that yes, I need to do this in order for me to succeed. Because people will give
Absolutely.
you things, they will offer you things, but sometimes if they see that you're not putting sufficient effort into yourself and you're only taking and taking and taking, at some point they will see that your business is not really going anywhere, because what are you doing? What are you taking out of yourself in order to help your business? And that is also why you all did this survey, this pre-assessment survey, which basically tests your readiness to start a business. And some of the questions asked: how much of your savings have you put into this? Are you willing to sacrifice this to achieve your goal? And how much of yourself are you willing to give in terms of your time and your sleep and your effort to go forward in your business? And the majority of you said that you're willing to make those sacrifices. And showing up here today, as Hannah said, is an amazing way to show that you are interested. So I'm hoping that this momentum continues, because there are some times when it kind of falls off the wayside because, you know, you haven't really invested anything in it. So there's nothing to lose in a sense. But just remember that you are losing something. Every opportunity you let pass by is an opportunity that you lost that may not be able to be regained. Every opportunity that you get, especially one that is offered free, it is too good to be true, yes, but don't waste it. Always, always appreciate it, okay? Because these people may not always want to invest in you a second time if you waste their time the first time. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Okay, so Hannah, again, I want
Wonderful.
to thank you so much
Thank you.
for jumping in. I know you have a really busy schedule. So
Yes.
if you'd like to hop off now, that's fine. Guys,
Thank
please
you.
join me in saying thank you to Hannah.
Yes, thank you, Berlin. I saw that Berlin had sent a
Thank you.
message.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you very much.
bye.
Thank you, Hannah.
Bye, ladies.
Okay, so as I said before, you will be seeing Hannah again during the marketing module of the course. So she will be one of the co-facilitators on that day. So that is module 5. So you can look forward to hearing more from Hannah. Now we have our next speaker. Her name is Janice Henderson. I'm just going to give you a bit about her. If you visited her page, you would have seen it. But Janice Henderson, she is the founder and CEO of Jan's Empowerment Institute, or JEI Inc. It's a nonprofit company which seeks to help unearth and develop the full potential of individuals through education, training, entrepreneurship, mentorship, job creation, and innovation. Janice is also the owner of Sharetta's Cakes and Pastries, a home-based bakery established in 2016. Janice is a 2017 Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative Professional Fellow. She's also earned a Bachelor of Science in Education, majors in Chemistry and Mathematics, and a minor in Education from University of Technology, Jamaica in 2008. She completed a Master of Philosophy in Chemistry at the University of the West Indies, Mona, in Jamaica in 2014. She is actively involved in her community and has implemented numerous initiatives to benefit the community. She acquired a grant of 10,000 US from JA Reach in 2015 to implement a climate change awareness and waste management improvement for climate change adaptation project. Janice organized and implemented a 2-week women and youth empowerment series in Antigua and Barbuda after receiving a Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative Reverse Exchange grant in 2018. Janice values integrity, persistence, humility, and compassion. She is altruistic in nature and has rendered invaluable service to numerous institutions and individuals locally, regionally, and internationally. Through these experiences, she developed strong leadership and organizational skills, excellent research and development, project management, communication, and presentation skills. And that it was a mouthful, but basically, this is the gist about Janice Henderson. She's also a really good friend of mine, and she's also another recipient of the YLI Triple E initiative, which of course she'll be making mention of as well when she comes on. So, Janice, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with you.
Okay, great. I'm now going to turn the floor over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for that warm welcome and that introduction. And good morning to everyone. And it is indeed my pleasure to be here to really speak to you all at the orientation for the Dream to Reality Professional Business Training course. And today, I want to speak to you briefly on the topic, unearthing and developing the greatness in you, which is in line with the theme, I am Generation Equality, realizing women's rights, and don't wait for change, create it. So the focus of my talk will be on unearthing and developing the greatness within you. And as you go through this training program, this is one step to unearth and develop the greatness in you. So in order to unearth and develop the greatness in you, I will be mentioning 5 points. And the first of which is that there is greatness in you. I know many persons, some of you may have already recognized that there is this greatness within you, and there are others who may not have recognized that there is this greatness in you. You know, God has placed various gifts, talents, and abilities within each and every one of us. And within us lies the power to achieve our greatest dreams, aspirations, and our goals. The second point is that there is no limit to what you can achieve. The possibilities are endless. You know, for many of you that are entering this training course, for persons you may think that this is it, this is the ultimate, but there is more. The possibilities are endless. This is just one step further along your entrepreneurial journey. And I encourage you to make the most of this experience, and you can achieve far more than you have already. For some of you, you have just an idea. For some of you, your businesses have been in operation for a while. Whatever you have achieved, there is so much more that you can still achieve. And there is more in you than you even recognize. Now, in order to unearth this greatness and develop this greatness that is within you, you must first believe. You must have that confidence that, yes, I can achieve my goals. I can achieve my dreams, whatever I set my mind to. Secondly, you must be diligent. Be diligent in your plans, be diligent in your preparations, be diligent in carrying out your duties. While pursuing this course, I encourage you to be diligent as you go through the various modules, as you go through the various topics each week. Be diligent. I also encourage you to be persistent, not only with this course, but be persistent in life. Remain committed to your goals because obstacles will come. Challenges will come. Life is not without its challenges. Failures may arise, but in spite of whatever may come your way, I encourage you to remain committed to your goals. Rest if you must, but don't quit. I also encourage you to be flexible and to be adaptable as you proceed. Be open. Be open to the opportunities and be flexible. Be willing to make adjustments. For persons, you may have your business idea. You may be operating your business in a particular way. But as your knowledge increase, as your networks increase, then you may be able to see things from a different perspective, and then we'll be able to make slight adjustments to the way you operate. You may make adjustments to the idea that you have and really refine the product and service. I encourage you also to just be focused. Distractions will come. There are things that will come across your path, but remain committed to your goal. I also encourage you not to be afraid to ask for help because we don't know it all. You know, and I encourage you to find mentors, and for some persons you will have the opportunity to have mentors that will be able to guide you and to assist you in your journey. But I encourage persons whenever, because challenges will come, difficult overcome. And at times, we need the perspective of others, we need the guidance of others. So, on your journey, you must not be afraid to ask for help. The third point is don't wait for change, create it. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Wildlife shirt. Don't create it. Create the change that you would like to see. Create the change that you would like to see in your life, in your family, in your business, and in your power within you to effect change. You have the power within you to effect change, and you are responsible for fulfilling your dreams and achieving your full potential. This course that you have enrolled in, you are responsible for making the best of it, to getting the most out of it, most out of the material that will be covered, to get the most out of the sessions where you will interact with various presenters, where you will interact with each other, where you will interact with the various mentors. So I encourage you to make the best of it, and know that you are responsible for what you make of this course. Know that you are equipped with various gifts, talents, and abilities for a specific purpose. Gandhi said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." You must take personal responsibility for your actions and for achieving your full potential. You have a responsibility and obligation to use the gifts, the talents, and the resources that God has given you to positively impact your world. And your enrollment in this course is evidence to your commitment to achieving your dreams and to creating change in society. The fourth point is that empowered women empower women. And I would encourage you throughout this training, while you are being empowered, and once you have been empowered, I encourage you to empower others. I am passionate about women's empowerment and empowering others. And I grew up in an inner city community characterized by high levels of disempowerment. Many of the individuals, especially women, were of low educational background. They had limited employment opportunities, and because of this, they engaged in behaviors such as crime and violence, gambling, and prostitution. But I knew they had the potential to be and do more. So this inspired me to start my company, Jan's Empowerment Institute. And my mission at Jan's Empowerment Institute is to help persons unearth and develop their full potential. Persons who are feeling unfulfilled, persons who feel they were created to do and to be more, and especially women. Because so many women have been marginalized, so many women have been made to feel that they can't achieve their goals, they're not special, they're not valuable. So my role is through education, through empowerment, through job creation, through innovation, is to really help these individuals to achieve their dreams and aspirations so that they can contribute positively to society. I feel about this because I want to see persons live meaningful lives. And because of my commitment to empowerment and women's empowerment through my organization, as Michelle would have indicated, I am the recipient of a YLI EEE Initiative Small Grants. And with this grant, last month I hosted a 2-day entrepreneurship workshop, which saw 23 participants getting the training in entrepreneurship so that they will be able to move from an idea to launching a successful business. 17 of these were women. And even in my organization, 75% of my board members are women, because I'm really passionate about empowering women and gender equality. And in my continued mission to empower others, I will be functioning as a mentor to some of you who are participating in the Dream to Reality course. Now, as I said, we enrich our lives when we enrich the lives of others. And based on what I've accomplished and those who have assisted me to where I am today, I want to give back to my community and give back to as many women as possible to help them so that they will be able to achieve their goals, their dreams, and their aspirations. And finally, the fifth point is I encourage you to remember your Creator. Remember the Lord thy God. Remember that all that you are, all that you will acquire, all that you will accomplish, and all that you will hope to be, it is all due to Him. So I encourage you to remember Him. So in closing, just remember that there is greatness in you. In spite of what others may say or the negativity, know that there is greatness in you and there is no limit to what you can achieve. All you have to do is to believe, be diligent, be persistent, remain focused, seek help when you need it. I also encourage you, don't wait for change, but create it. Be the change that you would like to see in the world. I encourage you also that remember that empowered women empower women. And as you have been empowered, empower others. And finally, remember the Lord your God. So as you embark on this training course, it is not so much about what you accomplish, but who you become in the process and the lives that you are able to touch. And I encourage you as you go forward to use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities to positively impact the world. Thank you so much for listening. And I wish you all the best in your course as you go on. And if there are any questions, be free to ask.
Well, what I will be doing, Janice, is I will be basically putting together certain persons into a little like forum. We're going to be doing
Okay.
breakout rooms. So for persons who want to speak directly with you, we can create breakout rooms with you and those individuals. So we can basically have those persons speak with you if you're able to, of course, take that on. But now, because we're kind of running out on our time, we're overstepping the time boundary. Again, I want to thank you so much, Janice, for that presentation. Very, very, very motivating. And of course, I'm really appreciative of the fact that you tied in the various themes that we are highlighting today. We are celebrating us women, the impact that we're having, and by the grace of God, we can do what we do. As long as we have this thing that we don't have to wait for change, we can create the change, we can impact that change. So it's really an amazing presentation that you put together, and I'm hoping that you can share this presentation with the other participants if they would like to receive it. I'm sure that they would like to review it or make reference to it as they go through the course, so that they have that constant reminder of what their mission is. So again, thank you so much, Janice. And our next speaker
Thank
is
you so
going
much
to
for
be...
having me.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janice.
Okay.
Our next speaker is Miss Lisa Yard, and just to give you a brief overview about Lisa. So she is, well, in September 2013, Lisa joined the St. Lucia Women Crisis Center as a volunteer. And in November, she had her first speaking engagement, speaking to women who are and have been in domestic abuse or violent relationships. The event was called Breaking the Silence. She developed a sub-theme, I Am Woman. Lisa has had other engagements, some through the center, others through seeking her own opportunities. One of these opportunities is with a Center for Troubled Teen Girls, where she speaks once a week on topics concerning improving their self-esteem or life choices. Lisa finally started a business named Lise Value, which is all caps, List What You Are Worth, geared on life issues. Lisa believes that women and girls are being treated unfairly at home, at work, and even when they are alone. Women and girls' morals are very low, but by the way that they speak, the way they dress, and the way that they walk. Teaching women to love themselves is Lise Value's priority. And I want to thank you so much, Lisa, for agreeing to speak to our 40 women today as we celebrate them and us as women. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the floor over to Lisa. Lisa, are you here with us?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. So you can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, first of all, I'm not feeling too well, so I just want to show my face. Hi, everybody. And I'll be going ghost for a while. Okay. All right. As I said, I'm not feeling too well. I woke up for ridiculous migraine this morning and my head is just pounding. So I used to the opportunity right now. Let's see. Then just do this thing and get it over with because I appreciate the fact that I was chosen to speak to your guys, 40 plus women. Great job, girls. Great job, Michelle. And great job to all the speakers we have and will have later in this program. As Michelle indicated, I do speak to various women. Unfortunately, it's only women I speak to. And why I do this? Because I realized lately that we as women, we carry very different hats, many hats. And one of the hats that we do not carry is self-confidence. We do not carry the confidence that, hey, I'm a woman, hey, I'm a young girl, and hey, I have values, I have worth, and I believe in myself as an individual, not as a person, but as an individual. So whatever decision that I make, there's a reason why I made that decision, and nobody can tell me it's not the best decision for me unless there's a particular reason that they have to show me otherwise. You guys chose this program because you believe in yourself. That is the right thing to do. You believe that you need to get out there and to prove yourself. But don't prove it for other people, prove it for yourself. Just prove it for yourself as a woman, as a young person, whatever field that you're in. As the theme indicated, it clearly says, don't wait for change, create it. You are now creating that change because you're not going to wait for it. The first step that you have done is to register for this business. The second step, you are taking the online course. And trust me, you guys being part of this online course is not just because Michelle decided, hey, I like the way this person is put together. I like the way they write. No, she picked you because she realized that there is potential in each and every one of you right now. Because she could have gone, hey, let's put all the hundreds of applicants that we had at one time. But thanks God, as she had rightly said, this little virus that's passing, it has brought all the 40 persons even closer than you expect. And I know for a fact, this being the first pilot program in St. Lucia, will have a great impact on the business world and on the different industries that she has created through you guys. Confidence. What does confidence mean to you? Do you have to wear confidence in a bolder manner? Do you have to speak confidence? What does it really mean to you as a person, as an individual, as a woman? I know many of us right now, we have spouses, we have children, we have responsibilities, we have difficulties, we have happiness, we have times we want to give up. But are we confident enough to say, hey, no matter what, we can still go forward? No matter what, I'm still going to be persistent. I'm still going to be dedicated. No matter what, I'll wake up early every morning, go to bed late every day, just to make sure that that dream becomes a reality. The name alone itself is only confidence that can produce those kind of names. And you choosing to be in this course, as I said, is not by accident. The divine maker has placed you there because you have a gift, you have a potential gift that he needs you to release. So be confident enough to say, okay, hey, I'm here. I'm going to give it 8 days of a week to make sure that I get this course done. I'm going to give it 9 days of a week to make sure that my business is what it's supposed to be and more. Don't settle for less. You will hear people telling you, hey, you sure you can do that? People will discourage you from all corners. You'll have distractions from all corners. You may have distractions from your spouse, from your children, and even from your own self. But just remember, those distractions come for a reason, to see how confident, how strong you are as a woman to continue that journey. It's not going to be a very easy journey. I know, I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. There'll be times you wake up on a morning and you don't feel like doing nothing. There'll be times you feel defeated. And there are times you get that eureka moment and you say, hey, I have a great idea. And it works out wonderful for you that day. And there'll be times persons will be calling you, and there'll be times you get no calls, you get no service, you get no monies. But guess what? Look at the bad times as an avenue, an opportunity to improve yourself, to improve your business, to improve your ideas. And remember, as the previous speaker said, always invest in yourself first. You have $5, you put aside $1 every day, every week, every month. Eventually, it will grow. Investors love to see persons who invest in themselves first. This just shows them that, hey, you're serious about your business. Take criticism very seriously. Don't get upset when somebody criticizes you about your business, but use it as a way to sit back, focus, and refigure out, where did you go wrong? What can be improved? Should I settle for just that? Because listen to me, apart from you having that great idea, there's somebody that has the same idea as you, and as Michelle rightly says, it's only yours if you put the effort into it. Start to own it, start to feel it, start to taste it, start to make it look as if you're walking in it every day. And that's how you're going to accomplish your dream. That's how you make your dream become one of the biggest realities that can ever be for you. In this little St. Lucia, I call it a little 2x4, we have successful, well-talented women with businesses. You'll be surprised. And it's just amazing at what we as women can do. What Michelle did not tell you is this. My business came out of my abusive marriage. And because of that, that's why I did my business, to help other women understand why they go through what they go through and how they can live in a situation and weather the storm and still feel calm about it. It has done me great because you hear stories from other women, from other young girls, and it teaches you day by day by day how you can improve yourself. Why am I telling you all this? Because the fact of the matter is, if you don't have confidence, when the hard times come in your business and you hear the graphic stories from other business, you will not be able to move forward. You have to learn to create that change within you as an individual, to accept the fact that, hey, I'm doing this course. I have to be diligent. I have to have discipline. I have to have a lot of confidence in myself in order to push myself, push my business, and get it out there. It's not going to be easy. That's the reality of life. You have to work hard, sometimes harder than usual. And I said, you'll get distractions from your spouse, children, friends, family, your pocket. But guess what? Use all the distractions to your advantage. Don't make harsh decisions right away. Sit back, analyze every situation that comes your way, be good or bad, analyze it properly. And then you'll get the answers. Trust me, the answers always do come once you're very calm. Do not make any decisions out of anger, out of fear, out of mistrust, out of criticism, but make every decision out of being calm, assessing every situation, and knowing that you're confident enough in yourself to stand by what you believe. I really do pray that all the 40 persons that are here right now will stay until the end, and all 40 persons at one point in the life will say, I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and have 40 more businesses around the world. That's how I look at it. So I thank you very much for this opportunity. I really do thank you very much, Michelle, for just allowing me to speak. And I pray to God that you don't wait for change, ladies, but you create it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Lisa, for those very heartwarming words. And I'm sure you spoke these words from personal experience. And again, I chose not to reveal to them, where this all came from. I felt that if you felt confident enough and comfortable enough to share it with them, that it came from a violent past that you also experienced, I felt it would have best come from you. So, which is why I did
Thank
not
you.
volunteer it. So, this was the forum for you to share that information. So, ladies, this is what we're saying. We are saying that we are here sharing our real life experiences with you. We are here with you. You are not alone in this. Those of you who may be experiencing this similar situation, Lisa is someone that you can reach out to and speak with one on one. And of course, if it is that you are interested in speaking with Lisa, it may not be specific to domestic violence, but it may just simply be helping you find yourself amidst the distractions around you. Then I can also put you in a breakout room with her so that you can have that session with her. Lisa, if you're up for that,
No
we can have
problem.
that arranged. So please, guys, if you ladies, if you are interested in being in a breakout room separate with Lisa to have that discussion, you can, of course, say that in the chat. Let me know privately, of course, that you would like to be put into this breakout room with Lisa so that you can have that session with her. And that is, of course, not going to be tuned in by anybody else. Whoever I put in there, that's the only persons who will be able to, engage there. Nobody else is going to have access to that breakout room. So just letting you guys know beforehand, okay? So again, Lisa, thank you so very much for that presentation. And I'm now making way for our next presenter. Her name is Vanetta Phillip. She is a graduate of the St. Joseph's Convent and a holder of an associate's degree in management studies. She expressed her interest in modeling at the age of 17 and was introduced to Mr. Richard Young of Mannequins Image Management Caribbean out of Trinidad and Tobago. Vanetta was aptly trained in fashion performance, runway skills, makeup artistry, model training, and artistic direction. She then went on to train models of another local agency called Deja Vu Reformation Advertising Modeling Agency, or DRAMA, where she was a senior model and co-artistic director. Some years later, she formed her own agency, Evolution Model Management, where she trained, managed, and artistically directed a team of 12 models. Her agency was known for their signature fashion shows, and some of her models have taken part in local pageants and have graced major calendars. Vanetta herself has graced cable and wireless B-Mobile billboards across St. Lucia, as well as informational brochures. She has voiced radio ads and have appeared in a number of television ads in her home country, and was lottery draw hostess, for 2 years. She has written a number of local publications, such as Living Today magazine, The Voice newspaper, Yo magazine, Jazz Souvenir magazine, and Slush magazine. Vanetta's creative ability has spanned into cosmetology, where she's practicing nail technician and hairstylist. Her experience in the Caribbean fashion and modeling world for the past 20 years and counting has drawn her to be a fashion stylist, working on a number of photo shoots for established and upcoming models. She opened the first ever model training school on the island, Modèle Magnifique Training School, which offers a 6-module course on all things fashion and modeling. Though her business interests are wide, public relations, social media management, wedding planning, fashion, hairdressing, nail technology, and makeup artistry, her heart is in model training, and her fire never goes out in this area. She believes in her faith in God, encourages her to do all of what she does and more, and she believes she is more than capable of doing anything that she puts her mind to. And without further ado, I would like to turn the floor over to Vanetta Phillip. Vanetta, are you with us?
I am with you guys. Good morning. Hi, Michelle. Good morning, ladies. Hope everybody can see me clearly. All
Yes, we
right.
can see you.
Wonderful. Okay. Good morning, everyone who is on the call. Thank you, Michelle, for that introduction. It was a little bit of a mouthful, but it's I appreciate it. Congratulations to each and every one of you ladies who have been selected for this Dream to Reality course. It is something that I, as a business owner, really wished I had years ago. So you guys are very blessed to be part of it. And I'm excited to be part of it as well. Michelle shared a lot of my background, and I have been involved in this entertainment fashion industry for a very long time. I guess you guys have calculated my ages, and she said 20 years and more. So it has exposed me to a lot of different industries. Right now, what I am involved in, that I'm very, very passionate about building and so forth, even though modeling is my first love. I am the managing director of Evolution Public Relations Management Limited. And as the name aptly says, we do work in regards to public relations, media relations, social media management, production, graphic design. And this has been my baby for the past 6 years. It started off with me seeing the need that creatives in St. Lucia, and when I say creatives, I'm talking about musical artists, even dancers, models, art, like people, actors, people involved in the entertainment industry. They needed a voice online. When I started off in 2014, that was not a popular choice. I will say boldly that it was like pulling teeth out to try to convince a very talented musician, a singer, a songwriter, hey, you need to be online. But that was 6 years ago. And as the years progressed, people started to say, okay, I need help. I don't have the time to manage my social media page. I don't have the time to put in content. I don't have the time to send out press releases to all the newspapers, letting them know about my song. So I decided to start my PR company in 2014. And I was fortunate enough to work with some wonderful local artists involved in a number of different campaigns. One of my past clients is Claudia Edward. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her. The St. Lucian group would have heard of her. She has been involved in the music industry for a long time, and I helped her to put out her album a few years ago, and we did an extensive campaign, and that was an amazing experience for me. And as the years went by, I saw the need of small business owners that they as well do not have the time to go online and market their business, or to go online and find that potential client. And that is where the business transcended from working with creatives all the way to working with small businesses. A few years ago, I traveled to Trinidad and Tobago. And when I started to interact with the small business community over there, I realized that, hey, the entrepreneurs really do not have time. Because when I tell them, okay, well, this is what I do, and they're like, oh my gosh, Vanetta, like, I need you. And that is when I said, okay, I need to change the dynamic of my business to accommodate the small business person, small to medium, I would say, because there are some people who are in business, which I'm sure like some of you on the call here have been in business for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 or 5 years. But then you're so consumed in meeting the needs of your clients that in as much as a certain set of money is coming in, you want more money to come in. But for more money to come in, you not only have to invest in advertising and marketing yourself, but then you think, okay, I don't have the time to brainstorm. Okay, how can I get my business out there on the social media platforms to let people know that I am there, to let people know what I do? And that is where I come in. You can call me a virtual assistant on steroids. Some people call me that. And where I help small business people create a social media strategy, because I am a social media strategist as well as a public relations specialist. So I help them create a social media strategy that works for the business within their budgets. And I have worked with a number of different businesses across the Caribbean, and I'm really happy to be part of this project with Michelle. We've known each other for quite a few years, and I would love to be part of teaching you guys. I'm thankful to be one of the co-facilitators of the course, and I would love to be part of the process to bring you guys from point A to point Z of your business journey. And I am happy to be part of that. As the, how should I say, let me pull the themes up here. Happy International Women's Day. I have a little bit of purple, Michelle. I tried, you know. I tried to have a little bit of purple because I really love Women's Day. And the theme for International Women's Day this year was I Am Generation Equality, Realizing Women's Rights. And the Dream to Reality theme is Don't Wait for Change, Create It. And I just want to give you guys just a couple of pointers that reflects the theme. And the first one I want to share is we as women have a right to provide for ourselves and our families. We have that right. Thankfully, many have gone before us to pave the road for us to be here. And so we have to take advantage of that and own your right to make a living for yourself. Own your right to make a living for your family. Yes, it's true. I mean, tradition teaches us that the men are the breadwinner, but for some of us here, we don't have men in the house. We have to provide for ourselves. And one of the things that I know my mom taught me was that to never wait for someone to give you anything. You need to work hard for whatever it is that you have. And again, you want to create a legacy for your children. You want to create a legacy for the next generation. And for you to do that, you have to own that right to provide. And that's why I'm so proud of each and every woman on this call here, that you've taken that step, or you're thinking of taking that step into making something of yourself, into, you know, using your passion to create wealth for yourself. And I'm very proud of each of you. So I just want to remind you to take ownership of that right to provide for yourself and your family. The next point I have here is we have a right to have a voice at the business table. And we're seeing over time that many more women are stepping up to the plate and owning businesses, owning corporations, owning multiple businesses, who are serial entrepreneurs of different sorts of businesses. And if there are no seats at that table, create your own table, because it's not to be put in a position where you're looking for acceptance, but to have your voice and say, you know what, I am here, this is what I do, this is what I love to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I am open to learning even more, but this is who I am. And you have to create or curtail, not curtail, but create that avenue to be empowered that way, because you have a voice and you have a right to voice that voice in the business world, no matter where you are, right? And my other point here is, as I said, to create your own table. Don't be afraid to be an innovator. I mean, the theme for the Dream to Reality course is, you know, don't wait for change, create it. Don't be afraid to be an innovator. Don't be afraid to be the first person to not only think of the idea but to actually put action behind it. Don't be afraid. Years ago, I was the first person, to my knowledge, that ever thought of having a PR company in St. Lucia. It's new. It's very out of the ordinary. And it was a struggle, but in 2011, I started Model Magnifique Training School, which is a training school for models. Never been done before in St. Lucia. 2011, never been heard. Everybody was like, what? A training school for what? But you know what? I said, this is what I want to do. I see the need for it, and I'm going to go after it. So don't be afraid to be an innovator. You might not be the first person to do what exactly you're doing, but it's your job to create it, to package it in such a way to make people say, okay, maybe she's not the only person who's making hot sauce, but I want her hot sauce. And I'm praying with this, this course, you will learn how to do that. You will learn how to create that type of package for people to come to you and say, yes, I want to try her hot sauce. So don't be afraid to be an innovator. And the third one here is going against the grain is worth it. Many of us are in St. Lucia. Well, I'm in St. Lucia presently. I live in Trinidad, but I'm in St. Lucia presently for a while. But many of us, because I was born here, so many of us in St. Lucia are aware of the economic climate, are aware of the general ideas in society that may make you feel like, oh gosh, I don't think I should do this. I think I should just be a banker like my friend or my sister. Maybe it's too hard. Don't be afraid to go against the grain, and going against the grain is absolutely worth it. I am testament of that. I had no idea at the time when I thought of Evolution Public Relations Management that it would have spanned as far as it's spanning, and it's still growing. Because right now I am servicing clients so far from the Bahamas all the way down to Trinidad and Tobago, in between, and we're growing beyond the borders. And it was just an idea I had. Maybe I should do a PR business, a PR company. I went against the grain because a lot of people told me, no, Vanetta, I don't think that's going to make enough money for you. But believe in yourself in such a way that you silence the noise. Yes, you listen to criticism and you accept it gracefully. Always be open to learn, but maintain your status and maintain your stance where, you know what, I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the normal, and I'm going to be good at it because I know what I can do. If you know what you're going to contribute to the world, and you know it's a great contribution, don't be afraid to go against the grain. Okay, so just to wrap things up, I think, yes, just to wrap things up, Evolution Public Relations Management Limited, we're embarking on a spectacular new project that I am hoping that, you know, I'll be able to share more with you guys as time goes along. But feel free to check out my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, Evolution Public Relations Management. And we are also on Twitter and Instagram. And right now we're getting ready to roll out a project. I would just disclose the name of the project. It's called the Social Media Runway, where I'm actually using everything that I've learned in my 20 years in the modeling industry, and I'm applying it to a subject, into an industry that I have come to adore and love, which is social media. Social media world, that is where 99.99% of your potential clients are located. And it is my job to help small business owners like yourself strategize the best ways to get your content, your goods and your services to the eyes of your potential clients, and make them not only stop and look at your content, but actually click and engage. And that's what the Social Media Runway is all about. I am very excited about it, and I'm excited to be part of the Dream to Reality course. Thank you so much for listening to me. Michelle, I don't know if I've overstepped my time. but I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to answer anybody's questions in regards to social media management, write-ups, press releases, anything of that sort. I am available. You know my pages. No name of the business, Evolution Public Relations Management Limited, and I can't wait to get to know you guys a little better as time goes on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Vanetta, for that amazing presentation. And of course, for letting all of our wonderful, phenomenal women and ladies here know that there is somebody that they can talk to, that they can reach out to when it comes to the social media aspect or the marketing aspect of their business. Because this is a trained expert. She's basically like a serial entrepreneur. That's what we call her. And she's been around for so many years, dabbling in so many things, but where her expertise is in social media marketing, guys. So when it comes time for you guys to put your businesses, or if you're already there, if you need to fine tune a couple of things, this is where Vanetta comes in. So please utilize the resources that you're being given free of charge, ladies. No, keep that in mind. All of this is being offered to you free of charge. So please show the appreciation and make good use of it. But not just that. Also, when you make use of what you're being given and you then use it, you can then prove to others that what you're being taught is actually true by your living it out. Not just us telling you that you can, but applying what it is that you learn and then achieving that goal. So then you can now say, I am a product of this. I am a result of this, and it's because I made that choice. So you as a woman have that option, have that choice, have that power to make that decision. And when it comes time for you to take that social media runway with Vanetta, she will be there for you. Okay, so again, thank you, Vanetta, for that wonderful presentation. We have our next presenter, who is one of the soul gentlemen who will be speaking with us today. His name is Kyle Fishman. And just to give you a brief info about Kyle, he serves as the Entrepreneurship Program Officer in the Office of the Public Diplomacy in the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs at the U.S. Department of State, where he coordinates the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, or YLI, and other regional entrepreneurship programming. This is his third foreign service tour. In Warsaw, Kyle saw a consular officer and staff assistant to the ambassador. In Montevideo, he led consular outreach and fraud prevention. Prior to the Department of State, Kyle was a program officer at the National Democratic Institute, or NDI, where he managed election observation, citizen security, and youth leadership programs in Central America. Originally from South Florida, Kyle studied government and international relations at Harvard College and spent a year in Costa Rica on a Fulbright fellowship with Arias Foundation. And without further ado, I would like to turn the floor over to Mr. Kyle Fishman. Kyle, are you with us?
I am.
Okay, great. You can take over now, Kyle. Everybody, please ensure that you guys mute your mics so that you can listen to the presentation, okay? Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for that excellent introduction. I hope I can deliver after Vanetta's very inspiring initial remarks. Thank you so much, Michelle, for inviting me to take part in this orientation session. And I'm so proud of all of the faces who I see on my screen, because first we have to recognize that we're here in unprecedented times. I mean, we're facing a global pandemic. The United States and your countries are all responding, and we're also responding as individuals. And so I think while joining an online course might not be the first thing you thought of in the middle of a global pandemic, it perhaps is one of the best things you can be doing because you're getting your mind off of all the crazy day-to-day news and focusing on a goal and something that you can actually achieve. So thanks again, Michelle. I'm really happy to be here with the Slugterra's Dream to Reality course. And as you'll be finding out, this incorporates the Dream Builder online course, which was developed by a mining company called Freeport-McMoRan and the Arizona State University. And the State Department has been collaborating with those two entities on Dream Builder to bring this course for women entrepreneurs through what we're calling the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. And we, in 2019, included 14 countries in the Caribbean and Latin America. And this year we are expanding to 20 countries. And I think if St. Lucia counts as a separate country, I think we might be at 21 now. So thank you for that, Michelle. I understand you all represent a diverse group of different industries, from retail and technology to manufacturing, commercial, services, and creative fields like Veneta. So it's great to have a range of different folks here, but I think the crux of this is that each of us can create something and can add something to our company and to our economy and to our community. So I'd like to just share a little bit about the history of the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, and then how we connected with Michelle, and then a bit about what the State Department is doing outside of the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative to support entrepreneurs in the Western Hemisphere. So let's see if I can share my screen here. Great. So the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative is celebrating 5 years this year. We started in 2015. We were launched in 2015, and as you can see from this graphic, it's still a draft, so you are some of the first people to see it. We've had 763 young professionals from across Latin America and the Caribbean to the United States as part of the fellowship program from 37 different countries. They've been to 23 different states in the United States and been able to partner with 729 US host organizations and businesses. Our hosts are very happy to share their experiences with YLI Fellows. Michelle herself was a YLI Fellow, and I enjoyed that experience, I understand. So the YLI as a whole consists of the fellowship, which is a yearly experience for business owners with 2 to 4 years in business to come to the United States for an exchange program, a 4 to 5 week exchange program where they're paired with a company or host in the United States. Each year there are 280 fellows who come, including, I'd say, about 80 or so from the Caribbean. The YLI initiative also includes YLI Network, which is a virtual community open to all of you that we highly encourage you to join. And I'm sure Michelle will provide more information on that, but the website is yli.state.gov. That's YLAI.state.gov. And it's a free resource where you can network with others from your country, receive updates on the latest resources that we've been able to post there. We have at least 3 yearly campaigns where we organize a course. Our current course is on financial literacy. So it includes quizzes, instruction from professionals, and then guides on how you can think about your business through these different lenses. And then our US embassies and consulates throughout the region organize activities with fellows like Michelle, as well as participants in programs like yourselves. And so how did Michelle's course come to be? Essentially, Michelle participated in an alumni program that we organized in Jamaica late last year, where we were looking to empower entrepreneur and alumni to organize activities in their own countries and regions to bring more people to the table and share some of the essential skills and motivation that Michelle gained through her experience and continues to give back to her community. So we're really appreciative that Michelle participated in that program, applied for and was awarded a small grant to be able to organize this program with you today. So I'll share one other piece, which kind of talks about the way that the State Department, the US Department of State, supports entrepreneurs throughout the Western Hemisphere. And that's this graphic here, which is available on our website. I can send a link to the chat because each of these squares here includes information, is a hyperlink so that you can find out more about those programs. But essentially, we view from the area of public diplomacy where I work, which is engaging with publics across the world and building connections and people-to-people connections, business connections between the United States and countries around the world. We see our support for entrepreneurship in 4 major areas. The first is building capacity. And as you can see on this chart, we have a range of programs that go from English language and youth programs. So in countries where folks do not speak English, that initial English language program can be a great way to get people to the table to start talking about their businesses and their futures. All the way down to the YLI Professional Fellows Program and other Professional Fellows Program. You'll see that the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs is also here in that first column. We also provide support for business development infrastructure. So you may be aware of small business associations in your countries and communities. A lot of those have had some kind of connection with the United States Small Business Administration, where we had a project for several years to provide support and help them help you, essentially. But basically to put together tools and practices so that young emerging entrepreneurs like yourselves, or even entrepreneurs who are not so young and may have a new business idea, can come in and really get the guidance that they need and the networking that's helpful to develop their businesses. You'll also see here that we are focusing very heavily on women entrepreneurs. This is part of the White House's Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, where we're trying to reach 5 million women by the end of 2025 and be able to provide essential information to help them become empowered in their economies and stand up for themselves socially in general. So this program is an essential part of that strategy, and the importance of having strong women like yourselves at the table to improve the way that our countries work together and on their own. The third way is by facilitating networking and partnerships. That's the third way that we try to support entrepreneurs. And the 40+ faces on my screen right now are a great way that networks can really build and help each other, because we are only as strong as each and every part of our networks. And so really, I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity, not only to learn some of the techniques and strategies that the course will go through, but also talk to your mentors, talk to the other folks in your small meeting groups. I know we won't be able to do it in person as we had hoped, but those virtual connections, especially now, are so critical. And we're hoping in the future to be able to provide, and Michelle has even thought of this, how we can encourage access to finance, whether that's through some kind of group funding or through large international banks or organizations, depending on the size of your business. So I'll share a link to this with the group so that you can all see if you're interested in clicking through to some of these. But I want to conclude with the slogan that Michelle has used that I think we all share in YLI too. I'm not at the office now, but we have a bunch of little cards that say this. They say, "Don't wait for change, create it." So thank you all for joining Michelle. I wish I could meet you all in person, but really take advantage of this. It's a great opportunity, and I'm so inspired to see you all participating so actively. So thank you, and I'll return it to Michelle.
Thank you so much, Kyle, for all that information. I want to thank you again for being able to join us. I know things are really hectic back where you guys are, working remotely. And I want to thank you for taking that time out to really make that contribution. And thank you for introducing our ladies to all of the opportunities and the way that the U.S. Department of State is available to basically support entrepreneurs and startups. So you guys have seen for yourself. It's not just me talking, because I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. You guys are hearing it for yourself from the people who are bringing it to you guys. So again, he said he will share the link with you so that you can check this information out for yourself. It's a lot. So take your time. You have a lot of free time now, so take some time, to go through each item. And of course, if you have any questions, Kyle, if you're open to it, we can have a separate breakout room where persons can possibly ask you questions if you're open to that. And we can set that up during the course of this session.
Sure, that would be great.
Okay, awesome. So guys, please let me know privately if you guys would like to join in the breakout room with Kyle, and I will basically put you guys in that room so that you can have that that private session. Okay, thank you again, Kyle. Okay, so we have our next speaker up. Unfortunately, I do not have a bio that I could read about him and give him a proper intro that he deserves, but I think he's more than capable of doing that for himself. He's representing the U.S. Embassy of the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados. And of course, I'm speaking of none other than Mr. Lawrence Stoker. So, Larry, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Oh, great. Thanks, Michelle. Real pleasure to join you today. Yeah, don't worry about the bio. I am a diplomat in our embassy in Barbados. Work closely with Kyle, who's back in Washington, and had the great opportunity to meet Michelle, I think, in one of my first weeks when I arrived September, I think it was, when we first met in St. Lucia. So really great to virtually see you again and join so many of you. I'm so glad that this is a big, dynamic group in St. Lucia who are looking forward to taking the next steps for all of your businesses. I just wanted to follow up on some of what Kyle had said, but give you kind of a local lens of how we look at these big issues here at the U.S. Embassy and how we're able to support you out of the embassy in Barbados. As Kyle mentioned, this program, Dream to Reality, which is hugely exciting, is an offshoot of a number of programs that the State Department already has running, including the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, which was a pilot program in Barbados and will continue again this year. But it all falls under the larger umbrella of, as Kyle mentioned, the White House-led Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative. One thing you should know is that we have the White House's ear when it comes to these types of programs. I mean, this is a project, an initiative of Special Advisor Ivanka Trump. And so if you Google around, if you probably type, Women's Initiative Ivanka Trump, you will see the Special Advisor around the world with groups of women just like you who are taking the next steps to their own personal and community prosperity. So I wanted to put that up front that the White House is focused on this, and I think that makes it very exciting that we have that type of support. Secondly, I wanted to emphasize not only the fact that you have a huge resource in this Thunderbird Dream Builder software, and Michelle and the other coordinators in walking you through that, but the YLI program, the Young Leaders of America's initiative that Kyle mentioned, is also another great resource to support you in your own entrepreneurial and prosperity journey. It was fantastic as I tuned in to listen to Vanetta. I mean, to hear so many of those common themes of how you can be unique, of how you can take the next steps in social media to reaching new audiences, to reaching new clients and buyers, etc. One of the things, to give you a little bit of my bio, I've worked as a diplomat in Venezuela, in Ukraine, and Nigeria. So you can imagine that I'm happy to be in the Eastern Caribbean where things are a little cooler and calmer than some of those countries. But as I've worked with entrepreneurs and young people in those countries, one of the things I heard from one young entrepreneur, which kind of jarred me, was, I'm sick of people telling me they have a new idea. There are 6 billion people on this planet. If you think your idea is unique, you're wrong. And I sat there and I said, wow, that's not really the message that we want to be sharing with entrepreneurs. But she followed up to say, because it's not the idea, it's the implementation of that idea that's going to make you money, that's going to make you successful. And so I'm really glad that this group has formed with Michelle's leadership and with the support of so many to help you implement your ideas. The Young Leaders of America's initiative annually sends hundreds of young people, men and women, to the United States to match them up with individuals in their different sectors and their different fields. Yes, that's tourism. Yes, that's food and beverage. And we're excited to support those of you who are engaged in those sectors. But it's also healthcare and education and energy. So I want you to think about, as you're developing your own businesses, I don't know, there's a lot in this group, and so you're probably all at different steps in your journey, to think about what sector are you involved in. And if you haven't quite decided, maybe think of some of those other sectors like healthcare and education. I mean, kids are always going to need an education. Healthcare, the elderly or those who need health support are always going to be there. To think of those opportunities as well. I think one thing we've witnessed over the past week with COVID-19 or the coronavirus is that the tourism industry can be very fickle, right? It can be boom or bust. And what these programs seek to do with the creation of entrepreneurship is to help countries in the Eastern Caribbean to diversify their economies. And you're now part of that narrative as you develop your own businesses. So please, as Kyle sends around that information, take a look at what sector you're developing your business in and think about, how you can advance in that area. I wanted to talk about, too, that the Young Leaders of America's initiative is not just sending individuals to the United States, but it's also a network for those individuals who don't travel, individuals like yourselves who are connecting through this network. At yli.state.gov, there are also online courses in addition to what Thunderbird and the Dream Builder program provides. I mean, things that I honestly should take, like fundraising concepts or the fundamentals of grant writing, those can be truly helpful as you take your own journey. We have grant opportunities, small grants, available through the U.S. Embassy. And I can't tell you the number of times where I look at a proposal and I think, wow, this is a great idea, but I wish they could flesh it out more, or I wish they thought about A, B, and C. And I think with a little more capacity building, with a little more development of individuals on how they can write grants, how much more successful those individuals can be. So take the time through Dream Builder or through the YLI resources to think about how you can improve your own grant writing skills, because they're hugely important to take advantage of the number of opportunities out there. The real buzz right now in the State Department, if I can kind of share some information with you, is climate resilience and resiliency of communities in the Eastern Caribbean to what could be a pandemic like we see currently, or natural disasters, or other things that affect countries of small populations and of limited resources. You can think about, how does your company contribute to the resilience of your community? And that will give you a leg up as we look at these different proposals and think about funding them. Many different companies, of course, have NGO arms to them, right? So think about not only how does your company make money, but how does your company serve the community? And that could then make you eligible for some of the small grant funding opportunities we have available. So let me give you some concrete information. First of all, if you haven't been to the embassy's website, it's bb.usembassy.gov. Michelle can share that around, but it's bb.usembassy.gov. And under the Exchanges tab, you will find information about our small grants opportunities. It's called a Notice of Funding Opportunity. And there, on a rolling basis, so at any time during the year, you can submit an application to apply for up to $20,000 to support a project that you're engaged in. Now, we will not consider projects that are solely for private gain. So if you have a business, let's say it's a catering business, and you need to buy supplies for your kitchen, that's not something that the embassy is going to support, at least not through this small grant funding. Maybe through an innovation grant through the YLI program, yes, but through our small grants, we're looking for ways that you're investing in your community. So think about, maybe you have a catering business. How could you team up in your community with perhaps a youth group to reach out to young people who might be struggling in their studies or might have dropped out of school? And how could you work with them or work with some kind of training academy to include in that training academy the skills you bring as someone involved in food or beverages or catering? So I do want you to check out our website, bb.usembassy.gov. Look at the small grants that we have available and see if you have an idea on how to make your own community more resilient and how you might submit that proposal to us so that we can take a look at it. I want to make sure that you follow up on Kyle's offer of assistance there to click through all those different options, to think about the sectors that you're working with or working in, and think about how you can continue to take those steps. Again, harsh, but your idea isn't unique. It's how you implement it. The U.S. Embassy in Barbados, which pays a visit to St. Lucia every month, every other month, is here to support you. I look forward to, as we pass through this pandemic stage, to when we can meet up in person in St. Lucia, and we can talk more about how we can take action on your ideas and make them into reality. So, Michelle, thank you for pulling this together. Please consider me and the embassy a resource. Michelle, please share around my contact information as you see fit, but really excited as we begin this journey to what you all create. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Larry, for these wonderful words, these encouraging words. So you ladies have heard for yourself. Again, you have tremendous support, not only from the U.S. Department of State, not only from the embassy, you're getting support directly from the White House. So I'm basically saying to you that all of what was said to you months in advance, weeks in advance, in passing, this is the actual people speaking to you right now. So if you would like to have, again, closed off sessions with any of the speakers that have already presented, please message me in the chat privately, and you can have those sessions in those breakout rooms with those presenters. Larry, I'm not sure if you're able to stick around with us because I know you have a really tight schedule. But I'm really,
unfortunately, it's coronavirus central for me today as we do a lot of our messaging to help our American citizens who are out there. Okay. But I would be happy to set up, another time, Michelle. Okay. We can talk offline to have another meetup to have that conversation.
Okay, great. I really appreciate that. So you ladies, of course, thank you again, Larry. Thank you so much. So you ladies have heard it. If you guys are interested in learning more about the U.S. Embassy and the role that it plays and how the initiatives and programs and support that you can get from the U.S. Embassy is possible, again, let me know and I can arrange a meeting, a virtual meeting with Larry. And also the same goes for all the other previous speakers because some of them had to actually hop off. So guys, let me know in the chat privately. So if you're not really sure how to do that, you go to the chat box. There's a drop down button right there. Select my name and it will send the chat privately to me. And I will see that in the chat box. So please let me know and I will make that arrangement. Okay, so now we're going into the next session, which is a short video that I've put together of 5 young ladies. Now, these 5 young ladies are of our 40 professional ladies who will be taking our course. So I basically gave them a challenge. And the challenge was to answer a question. What makes your professional lady in your business or organization? Again, what makes you a professional lady in your business or organization? And of course, I took responses from not only women who have been in business, I also took responses from people who have just started, and also from a young lady who has not started anything at all, but she's still finding her way and gauging her ground. So I'm going to be sharing this presentation with you right now so that you can hear from those 5 young ladies what makes them a professional lady in their business or organization. I'm going to share my screen with you. So please bear some patience with me. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, awesome. So let us begin. Okay, great. Okay, so the very first young lady that we have, her name is Tiffany Polius. And Tiffany is one of the young ladies who is in our blended class. And she has not yet started her business, but she has an idea. So let's listen to what makes her a professional lady.
Well, I'm not hearing it.
Okay, some people were putting in the chat room that they're unable to hear. Is everybody experiencing this issue?
Yeah, I couldn't have heard.
Yes. Okay. I do apologize about that. I'm not sure why you're not hearing. Okay. So let me switch this up a bit to see if I do it this way, if that would make a difference. Okay, one moment. Okay. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna play it from here, and just let me know in the chat if you guys can hear it this time.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany. What makes me a professional lady? I wouldn't say
Okay, I can hear, but I cannot see her.
it's just an idea, but my idea is basically to have a culture transcends business. In other words, what that means is to break barriers, even though we are different colors, different races, different ethnicities. We are all one. So my business is branching out into the Asian culture, the food, the music, the clothing, and everything like that, because their culture is truly beautiful. I'm not saying that our culture isn't beautiful, it is very much so, but basically that is my idea. It may not sound as much right now, but I promise you that it's going to be good. Thank you.
Okay, so this was shared by Miss Tiffany Polius, and she just gave us an idea as to what makes her a professional lady in her business. Now, I know, Tiffany, you said you're not too quite sure yet what it is, but I'm sure that at some point you will find your way and find yourself as you go through this course. It's not about what people tell you, it's about what you learn about yourself based on what people show you, based on what you do, based on what you experience. You learn things about yourself, and that is how you determine who you are and what makes you a professional lady in the circumstance you're placed in. So I know that with time you will find who you are as a professional lady. I know that. Okay, so the next video that I'm going to play is another young lady who by the name of Erica, and she will share with you what makes her a professional lady in her business.
Hi everyone, I'm Erica, and what makes me a professional lady in my business is that everyone looks up to me and also expects me to get it done. Yeah, everything laid down at the table, yes, Erica has to get it done. My business is mainly about empowering young women in confident walking and celebrating beauty through unforgettable lives. I am grateful for this opportunity with the team, and I do look forward to meeting all you gorgeous young ladies at our training session. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So that was Erica Lee Cork, and Erica says basically she's the person that gets it done. You know, there are a lot of women who have this attitude about, I know how to get things done. So, Erica, you're the epitome of that. You're the essence of that. So, I'm hoping that I see that coming across in the course as we get to know more about you. And I can definitely see you're a go getter based on the way that you presented this video. That's another thing that I was looking for, to see who has that confidence level in them and how far is this person willing to show their confidence. Some people come across as basically cocky and overly confident, but you come across as just knowing what you're about. And that's something that I really respect and admire. So that was Erica. Now, the next young lady that I'm going to feature, her name is Wendy. And Wendy shares with us in a delicious way what makes her a professional woman.
Hi, my name is Wendy Monrose, owner slash manager of Delicious Cheesecakes. And the name says it all. It's all about cheesecakes. I pride myself as being a professional who endeavors to satisfy every customer's cheesecake needs. And so, whether it is as a whole cake, or as slices, or as cupcakes, or our more recent addition, cheesecake in a cup, everything that we deliver to our customers is all about quality and in a timely manner.
Okay, so I gave Wendy a challenge. Now, a lot of you may not be aware of this challenge, but I used to get a cheesecake every year for my birthday. That was like a religion of mine. So every year I would only eat cheesecake once a year, just once. And there was this one young lady who always ensured that I had my cheesecake on my birthday. And then one day she came up without the cheesecake, and I was like, "Wait, hold up. What happened today? Did you forget my birthday?" And she said, "I'm sorry, but the people who the lady I normally have to do your cake for, she no longer does the cakes." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And the truth about it is, I enjoyed that cake so much that after that year, I never ate cheesecake again. That is some serious dedication and loyalty to the people who make the cheesecake. Now, I enjoyed it so much. I mean, I saw slices and I tried the slices, but they were never tasting as good as the whole cheesecake that I used to get. So I stopped eating cheesecake. So it's like 5 years I haven't had a good cheesecake. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, so Wendy, you're telling me that your cakes are so good, you literally put in the logo delicious. So I want you to prove to me how delicious your cheesecakes are. That is your challenge. And then she guaranteed me that if I tried her cheesecake, I would start eating cheesecake again. So I have accepted your challenge, Wendy. And you even came with a cheesecake in a cup. I've never seen a cheesecake in a cup. What does that cup look like? I would love to see it. But I took up that challenge. So I'm really looking forward to engaging with Wendy and to seeing what and tasting what her cheesecakes look like and taste like. So we have another young lady who I'm going to share with you, and her name is Janelle James, and she explains what makes her a professional lady.
What makes me professional in my company is that I am a great leader. I respect everyone and I treat everyone equally. Euphoric Events is an event planning company which hosts sponsored events, charitable events, workshops,
Okay, great. So we heard from Janelle. And I'm not too sure what was wrong with Janelle when she made that video. She looks like she was a bit sad. Janelle, we need to talk privately so I can find out, why you were so sad when you made that video. But
Didn't
yes,
hear Janelle's video though.
you didn't hear it?
It started and then it stopped somewhere in the middle.
Oh, well, it's most likely your connection. Did anybody else have any issues with
I
that?
didn't hear it neither.
It did the same for mine.
Oh,
Neither, I
wow.
didn't hear her neither. It stopped way halfway through it.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure why that happened with this. Okay. So, all right. Well, I have one more video to show. If you guys are having any issues hearing, just let me know. This is the last video. And this is from Amy Schwartz. So please take a look. Let me know if you're hearing.
My name is Trish, and welcome to The Dress Up. The reason we
I'm
call
hearing.
it Dress Up is because we have everything that ladies can find in, on, and around their dresses. We've been open for the past 3 years, and we've been happily serving customers ever since. What makes it so different at The Dresser is we have unique items at affordable prices. We only bring one or two specifically in an item. Clients like that exclusivity because they know it's one of a kind. They're not going to have many persons with the same item. Clients also feel comfortable knowing and confident that when they go to an event that somebody else wouldn't be having the same outfit that they would be having. So we have lots of experiences with clients, but what jumps out at me right now is we had a client who came 2 hours before a wedding and we had to fully outfit her, do alterations to her dress, and steam her garments. And what was funny is that she ended up with at least having 20 more minutes to spare after getting to the event. So for me, that was an exceptional experience. The client left happy. We left satisfied that she was outfitted and she got to her event on time. So at The Dresser, we also work with a lot of professionals in terms of hairstylists, makeup artists to ensure that our clients are fully outfitted. We would come in and actually do the full wardrobe, and alongside our partners in the beauty industry, we would make sure that our clients are fully fitted for that specific occasion or for that specific event. A lot of persons often ask, where do we get our clothing? In terms of the influences, we carry a lot of Italian styles, Spanish influenced styles, British styles, and we carry a diverse amount of clothing for a reason. Not everyone's the same, not everybody's body type is the same, not everybody's figure is the same. So we need to cater to everyone's needs. That's why we diversify and have so many different types of brands and clothing available for our clients.
Okay, awesome. So these were the videos that our 5 young ladies made and answered the challenge, answering the question, what makes you phenomenal woman or professional lady in your business? And I think they clearly stated that and indicated that in their videos. There was one more challenge that I basically put together for our professional ladies. And that was a challenge in the sense of telling us what do they do in their venture or organization that helps to empower or is empowering women. And we have 2 brave young ladies who explained how they do that. So Janelle James was the first lady to basically take on this challenge. And this is what she said. Hello, good day. At Euphoric Events, I am looking forward to hosting different workshops such as life skills, public speaking, and soft skills management. I'm also looking at hosting a small award ceremony awarding successful women in St. Lucia. Another thing is to try to provide a platform where women can share their stories and we give ideas as to how we can help in any way. Hosting a trade show or a talent show for women, because we do have women who are very talented but do not know how to get out there to show their talents. So everything is kept in a box. I believe that work needs to be done with young girls from as early as secondary school to expose them to the possibilities of entrepreneurship. In doing so, pursuing self-employment, financial independence, and making a mark on society will be dreams converted into the realms of reality for them. With my expertise in the educational sector, I foresee that my business can work and engage with a group of secondary school girls in this regard. Hosting such forums will provide them with the life skills needed to convert passions into business enterprises. And this was submitted again, as I said, by Janelle James of Euphoric Events. So Janelle, that is an amazing way that you plan to make an impact as a woman to empower other women. And you're not just talking about women already in business, you're also talking about upcoming young ladies who will become women at some point in time. So this is a really ambitious initiative, and I really do appreciate that. And then we have our second young lady who basically says as to how she'll be doing that. Her name is Wendy Monrose with Delicious Cheesecakes. So Wendy says, I believe that work needs to be done with young girls from as early as secondary school to expose them to the possibilities of entrepreneurship. In doing so, pursuing self-employment. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Wendy's response. Okay. Well, I actually read both of the responses. So the first response was Janelle's response, and the second one was Wendy's response. So they both definitely look at working with women, and Wendy looked at working with secondary school students. So these two young ladies have two varying ideas as to how they can or will empower women. One at the adult stage and the other at the secondary school stage with upcoming women. And I want to say that is really a great initiative that you both are embarking on. And I really applaud you for taking on such assiduous and very difficult responsibility, because it's not easy to work with secondary school students. At that age, most of them will tell you, I have no clue what I want to do. And that is what you hear a lot from a lot of them. They have no clue of what they want to do in life. So I think the very first step with dealing with them is to first understanding where do they see themselves and establishing where they're at right now, the environment that they're exposed to, and that will help them help you guide them into better gauge as to what direction they see themselves going into. So really great, ambitious stories about how the two of you will and plan to empower women. And now what we're going to be doing is going into our next presenter, and her name is Miss Jamie Hoyt. And I will give you a brief overview or bio about Jamie while she sets up for her presentation. So Jamie happens to be one of our sponsors, and I will explain to you what that really means. So Jamie runs the Smart Term Project, and because of the fact that we were not able to meet our classmates in person, which is what the initial blended format would have given rise to, Jamie provided a platform which we would be able to use to still have our live class sessions. And I'm really grateful to Jamie for coming on board and to providing that platform. Thank you for being one of the sponsors of Dream to Reality. So Jamie is a fellow entrepreneur, travel lover, and Caribbean native. She's passionate about technological development in the Caribbean and initially started off at Piedata, a company creating a space for regional Caribbean hackathons and acceleration programs. At present, she's a director at Smart Term Limited, which offers an education management platform with the aim of digitizing the processes of schools, thus providing the impetus of innovation or for innovation and education, sorry. She is also the founder of Hello Beautiful World magazine, a platform for solo female travelers. In 2018, she was selected to be part of the Young Leaders of the Americas initiative, an experience that truly changed her life. So Jamie is also a Wildlife Fellow. She was awarded the National Youth Innovator of the Year in 2019 by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, Trinidad and Tobago, for contributions to Smart Term, Hello Beautiful World, and Piedata. I am extremely passionate about marketing and women's empowerment, which is why I'm so excited to be here. These are her exact words. She completed her master's degree in global studies with specialization in economics and foreign aid and a bachelor degree in economics and international relations from the University of the West Indies. That's the fancy stuff, but she's an innovator, travel enthusiast at heart, and she's interested in sharing her experience of working with regional organizations, entrepreneur culture, and passion for travel with all of you. So without further ado, I would like to pass on the mic over to Jamie. Jamie, are you here?
Yes, I am, Michelle. Thank you so very much for that introduction.
Okay.
Okay, good. Pleasant day to all. As Michelle said, my name is Jamie White. I am extremely happy and excited to be here. And I am thankful for Michelle for inviting Smarten to be on this project. As Michelle said, I am a past wildlife professional fellow. And last year, 2019, Smarten would have gotten a reverse exchange grant from the Wildlife Fellowship. And we also had a women's initiative acceleration program, just as you all are having here. And we hosted 30 women in similar manner. And, you know, it was a really amazing experience seeing all these women grow from one stage to the next stage and develop. And some of them are even successful, have successful businesses right now. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for your journey and to see how you all grow and develop in this process. I'm also thankful to Michelle for being able to speak with you all. And I just want to say congratulations to the 40 women who were selected and who are going through this 7-week process through the Dream to Reality professional business training course. I am a person that has a heavy stats background, so I like to share some stats with you in terms of women in business. We have recently celebrated International Women's Day, and as part of the team for this orientation today, we want to build a strong and resilient Caribbean demands the equal involvement of both men and women. So why not entrepreneurship? Why women can't lead through entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a key route to promoting economic growth in the Caribbean. And 62 million girls are denied an education all over the world. Women with full-time jobs still earn only 77% of their male counterparts. So why not choose a life of entrepreneurship? I think entrepreneurship, as I said, is one way that we can promote economic growth within our region, and, you know, for women to create their reality, to be sustainable and provide for their families. I think 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced either intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime. I think this is a very touchy issue that, you know, some of us, we are afraid to talk about it at times. I thank you to Lisa for sharing her experiences, and some of you all, you know, you can, you know, take from what she has developed and grown from her experiences and, you know, implement it within your own life. Like I said, it is a touchy topic. Some of us don't want to talk about it, but it is some of the things that is, you know, hindering our growth as women. And, you know, it's topics that we need to discuss even within entrepreneurship and all of this. Women are more likely to launch businesses in healthcare and education. And I think Larry, he mentioned a couple of those. 29% of female entrepreneurs say their businesses are expanding moderately, and 5% of female entrepreneurs say their businesses is expanding aggressively. These are some of the results that came out of statistics on women in business by a source called SCORE in 2018. So you all can, these are some of the information I thought I was a little bit relevant to this topic that we are doing here today. So if you all want to explore more on the data, feel free to, you know, explore. The source is called SCORE 2018, right? I know 40 of the entrepreneurs here today on the call are from varying fields and backgrounds in businesses spanning the creative sectors, commercial, retail, service, and the agro-processing industry. So that's apart from the healthcare and education, industries, it's really good to hear and see a lot of our Caribbean women are expanding into, unknown fields, as some of them might say, or, different fields that is not the norm in entrepreneurship. So that's really wonderful and commendable for some of you. Entrepreneurs with a moderate. So that's this part here. Entrepreneurs with a mentor, and a mentor is something is something that is taboo. Most persons or women, so to say, getting into business, feel that, okay, we can do it for ourselves. And I am one of those. Feel that, we can do everything for ourselves. We are the bottle washer, the cook, the cleaner. We are everything in our businesses, rightfully so, because as a startup, you don't have that capital to really inject within your business in the early stages of the business. So it is good, that we can be all for ourselves and all for our business. However, having a mentor really mitigates some of the challenges that you all may come up with while, pursuing your entrepreneurial journeys. So having a mentor will help you to navigate some of those challenges. And it's something that I think is taboo in the Caribbean. We don't really talk about it much. Nowadays, you are hearing more of more persons having mentors, whether it is a male or female, but having that person they can turn to shoot questions at, ask for advice, I think is a really, really good thing to invest in your business. And the statistics says that women who actually have mentors launch businesses, and 80% of them are successful even after 1 year. So I thought that, pulling some of these statistics would show that, you all can implement some of these within your business, mentors, etc., to help your business develop and grow to the next level. But I really want to get into, for you as an entrepreneur going through the 7-week program, I want you to find your purpose. What really is your purpose for signing up to this course? I know it's 40 of you all may have different reasoning as to why, you are signed up for this course. Just as your businesses may differ in different fields and stuff like that. Some of you all may want help with your marketing, may want help with your business plan, your lean canvas, may want to develop a social media presence, different things. I know you all, while filling this application, you all would have thought about different things in getting your business on this program. So I know Michelle and her team has really been working hard, to put together a package that will suit you all, that will take you all from stage 1 to wherever you need to be at this point. And I know that at the end of this 7-week course that you all will grow, you all will develop your businesses. Some of you all are going to be successful businesses. But if nothing else, I want you all to take these 3 points I'm about to give you out of the course, right? And that first point is to get rid of your fear. I know some of you all are having that fear right now, even as, you all speak, you all put out your videos there, you all have fear. And that is one thing I know for sure that will cripple you as an individual, as a professional woman moving forward, and your business. That is one thing will cripple. So you need to get rid of that fear. I know there would be times you will cry about things. You might have fear of what others might think about you, but you don't have to think about that. You just have to, dust yourself off and try to get rid of that fear. One thing I employ within myself to try and help me to get rid of that fear is to speak positive affirmations into your life. You need to speak positive affirmations, things that will motivate you, that will help you. If it is in your quiet time, get that quiet time where you can meditate, where you can talk to yourself, talk to your God, speak to yourself in the mirror, and speak things that are positive into your life. You are successful. You know, you are going to be successful. You are great. All of these things that you need to affirm within yourself before it is manifested. So that's one thing that helps me, you know, get through those times of fear when you feel that you're not good enough. You know, just speak positivity into your life. Another thing is always keep trying, no matter what, you know, life throws at you, what stumbling block that, you know, may be placed in your path. I need you to jump and pass. You know, again, family members, you know, persons that you look to for motivation and advice may not believe in your dream as it is right now, but you are the only person that see the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the only person that has that vision. You need to be able to communicate that vision to who, you know, is around you, who you want to perceive your business as you know, as what you would like it to be perceived. So you need to be able to be consistent. I always say entrepreneurship is like having a baby. You know, a baby, it needs nurturing, it needs care, you need to feed it. Sometimes baby cry, whether it cry or not, you have to be there to attend to the every need of that child. And if it is, it's just like in your business, if it is every day you don't wake up with your business on your mind and think about what can I do to move my business forward, what can I do to develop a certain area within my business. You have to be thinking like that every single day, because if you don't take care of a baby, they might suffer from malnutrition or these type of things, just so your business will suffer from certain things. You may not get that awareness out there like you would want to have it. You know, think about different areas and different ways that you can consistently develop and grow your business. And no matter, as I said, no matter what life throws at you, because at the end of the day, apart from our business, we have life, we have families, we have social engagement, social, you know, interacting with families and friends. And, you know, people might think, well, okay, you know, you're studying a business, you're not studying, you know, different things that you can get engaged into, but really and truly, your business will die because you're not giving it attention. So keep trying, keep pushing, be persistent with it, and also have patience with the process, because you're not going to turn a millionaire overnight. You know, we're not going to turn a millionaire overnight. So just be persistent, you know, try to grow with it, and, you know, things will happen, everything will fall in line. And the next one that I strongly advise that you know, adhere to is pay it forward. It's simple. We have 40 talented women on this call right now who is going to go through a 7-week process of training. And think about the other women who you had to fight off, who you had to beat to get to this process, to get to this orientation day. There were a number of women who would have liked to be here and could not have been here. And that doesn't mean that they are not good, their businesses are not good. You know, it just means that, you know, it's not their time right now for this particular initiative, right? There are going to be more opportunities for them, yes. However, in paying it forward, all the knowledge that you all will get throughout this training, the information, you know, things that would help you in your business, developing your business, I just want you to share with someone who is probably on a similar path like you, someone who is, you know, looking to start off into entrepreneurship, who's going to develop their business. Share that information with them. I think there's no sense in, you know, being divided and holding that information within to yourself. Yes, okay, if you do that, your business might be successful. However, you know, you need persons around you to actually help you make that successful. Customers, you know, persons that you might partner with, your network, all these different type of things. So I just want to urge you all to, you know, share the information that you may get. If something works for you within your business, you know, share that information. Tell somebody else, help them with their business. Like I said before, I am really, really excited. These are the points I have for you. Smartum, as Michelle said, is a partner on this project. I'll share a little bit about Smartum and what we do at Smartum. Smartum is a limited, is the future of education. We like to say it like that. And we are redefining the way we educate in developing countries, Caribbean, and we provide an education management platform that is digitizing the process of schools, leading to improved efficiencies for governments, school administrators, teachers, students, and parents. Just before COVID-19, we understood the power of online learning and getting, schools and classes on an online platform where everything is basically digitized and, the operations of schools is made much more efficient. But on the onset of COVID-19, it really tests us and show us how important it is for schools to be online, really and truly, because now you have schools that are being displaced, students left with nothing to do when they come, some parents, there's the ones who are fortunate enough to, who can sit with their child and homeschool their child as best as they could, and teachers just left kind of in the wilderness, right? We launched a campaign for Smartum at the beginning, very much at the beginning of COVID-19, when schools started to close, government started to shut down countries. And since we launched that project, we have over 100 and about 76 schools right now who have signed up for a virtual classroom with our platform. So we see the need for it. They actually see the need in it in this crisis, and this is just COVID-19. What about in the Caribbean region? We are prone to natural disasters, hurricanes, and all these different type of things. We need to start thinking like that as a society, as a CARICOM community, in digitizing our schools and having classes online in the event of an emergency like COVID-19. So just to give some of the benefits of Smartum, so teachers and schools and parents and governments can benefit from student management, e-testing integration, grade book management, report generation, attendance management, alerts and notifications, ministry reports, the analytics that goes with it, which is very powerful for personalized learning and making forecasts into, predicting the workforce of a society, etc. We also do website as well as mobile applications. So that is basically Smartum in a nutshell. I am really, really excited to, go through this process with the women because I think 16 of the participants on the blended program would be utilizing the Smartum site.
Yes,
I think
that's correct.
they started that on Sunday. So we'd have that by Sunday. You should receive a welcome notice from us, and you will get your password and a login to get onto the site. So with that being said, I thank Michelle again for having me on the call and having me, speak with you all. And I pretty much look forward to seeing you all develop and grow through this process. And I want to see you all become successful entrepreneurs and professional women.
Thank you so very much, Jamie, for that wonderful presentation. And I'm loving the fact that you're wearing purple. Awesome.
Yes, I tried.
Okay, thank you so very much, Jamie. So guys, you heard it yourself. Smartum is one of the sponsors of this course, mainly because we were unable to meet face-to-face with our blended class, so we had to find an alternative, and thankfully, gratefully, by the grace of God, we were able to. I remember Jamie and I have been in contact for months since Wiley, and I've been looking for an opportunity for Jamie to leverage Smartum in some way, somehow, and some blessings come in disguises. So this is an opportunity for not only to showcase what Smartum is and what it does, but for us to experience it for ourselves. And we will be the first recipients to utilize Smartum in St. Lucia. So again, thank you so much, Jamie, for that.
Yes,
and I'm
Michelle,
so looking forward to working with your team.
Sure.
Okay, so we have our next speaker who was not on the agenda because I got her information confirmation late. But our next speaker is actually Isabel Berisso, and she is from Sugar Coach SAS. So Isabel Berisso is CEO and founder of Sugar Coach, a startup devoted to creating digital solutions for diabetes control. In August 2017, she launched Sugar Coach 1.0 for type 1 diabetes control. Now it's available on Google Play. This was her first mobile app of its kind, developed and launched in Latin America. What does Sugar Coach do? It allows users to record all the values of their diabetes and send them to the doctor in a simple way. Sugar Coach uses the same format of spreadsheets that a doctor uses that laboratories recommend. It is free and available for all Android smartphones. Isabel Berisso studied at UTN, the Career Systems Analyst. This project was born, because she's a mother of 2 children with type 1 diabetes and tired of using available applications, which did not solve the problem. She decided to create her own version. From the beginning, she focused on the user experience, as all apps on the market seem to ignore it, and developed a simplified and friendly version with the goal of knowing their market and learning from experience. Today, she and her team are developing version 2.0, with all improvements learned during this time. The new app includes gamification and other technological advances such as Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. She is passionate about technology and managed to grow this project and build a team with almost no resources, except for the inspiration and vision that makes the project grow and continue without many investments. It is her drive and perseverance that brings this project closer to success every day. And without further ado, I would like to call onto the floor Miss Isabel Berisso. Are you with us?
Hi, yeah. Hi, guys. Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here speaking with you. Thank you very much for the great presentation. You already told all my pitch, but yes, I'm in fact the CEO and founder of Sugar Coach, and as you said, it's a technological startup, and as a woman, it's very difficult to lead a startup, technological startup, because as you know, for example, when I go to see a customer with my partner, with my business partner, which is a man, they start talking with him and he has to say, no, she's the boss. And this kind of situation happened to all of us all the time. So I was preparing something more about my project, but I'm going to focus more on the human side of the thing, because I believe that we can reach much more from this. As you said, I built all this project without any resources, because I only got a small grant from the Argentinian government of $5,000, which in technology is like something to laugh about because everything cost like hundreds of dollars. So even so, we build the first version. Now we are building the second version, which includes Internet of Things and gamification and parenting, because most of our users, our customers are kids. T1D, type 1 diabetes happens to be in mostly during the childhood. So most of our users are parents and kids and teenagers. So we have to make our platform user-friendly and fun. That's why we also add gamification and parenting, of course. And I started on 2015, and I walk a long way since I started, because I start all alone by myself. I'm a mom of 4 kids, in fact, 2 of them with the T1D, but I also, I'm isolated in a suburb. I live far from the city. So I started all alone with just my idea and my willing power to do things. And I reached this point I am now, learning many things, studying every day. I believe that for every entrepreneur, is very important to all the time learning new things, studying every day. Half of the time I spend on my business is time that I spend learning and studying. So this program is key for all of you, because the most you can learn, the more skills you can get, that will enrich you, and you will use everything you learn, every single thing. And also the most, I think that the most significant part of this is that along the way, you are going to grow as a person, grow as a woman. You are growing skills that you didn't even know that you have inside of you. For example, leadership skills. For me, it was one of the biggest challenge, because I have to lead people, because I'm working with 7 more other people in the team that are not having any wages for this job. They work, and also any of the team are getting any money, because yet we are not monetizing, because it's a global project. My project is free, for free, and it's already present in all the countries in Latin America and North America, and also in Spain and the Caribbean too. But we are not getting any money from it, because it's for free. So I have to lead this team of people that is working for free, along side to side, along with each other. And I have to learn how to lead these people and keep them motivated. And this was a big challenge. Also, I have to learn how to speak in front of an audience, because I was really shy. And these are the kind of things that make you grow as a person, that make you grow new skills, that you will surprise of yourself when you look back and say, oh, first, I never thought I could do this, and now I'm doing this. I'm speaking with you, and speaking in English also, which is not my original language, because I speak Spanish. So maybe if I make mistake, please be merciful with me. And all these things that you learn, I may say that there are some important things that I want to say. First, as my speaker before me said, the business doesn't grow from yesterday to today. No, it's not going to happen. You have to be perseverant. And perseverance means being patient and live without that much anxiety that you have from expecting things to happen. You have to have in mind your goal and live every day without not expecting that goal to happen from one day to another. It takes patience, and it needs that you clean your soul, your mind, your body, your relationship, because you cannot be all the time on anxiety, because you have family around you, you have colleagues around you, you have kids around you. You cannot be all the time on the edge. So you have to learn to be at ease and waiting, but working on the way. So working every day, being perseverant, being patient, being strong, mentally strong, because you will need to do that. And also the other thing I want to say is that even though I was part of many programs like GIST like WISE, like Scalable, like Endeavor, and all that great programs that help me to achieve the place that I am here. And also I win some awards as an entrepreneur that give me some boost to go ahead and keep on going. The thing that helped me the most were the other women. Along the way, I get out of my house and start going to meetings and to meetups of entrepreneurs, and I start to meet other women that they were the ones who truly helped me, much more than men, because men in this, not all of them, but used to happen that men in technology believe that technology belongs to them, and it's difficult for women sometimes because they undermine you, they don't believe in you, and also the women were the around me were the one who support me, who give me mentoring, who give me well, all the support I need on this path that I did. So also I make a note so not to remember. I want to talk also about my mistakes, because everybody talks about the good things, the great things that they achieve. Okay, I have a really high moonshot. I want to change the way that people with, or not only diabetes, but with chronic disease manage their illness. This is a big moonshot. I think that I'm really far from getting that my moonshot, but I know that I already achieved some things, and I'm really happy about these things. But I also wanted to talk about the mistakes, because everybody talks about the good things, but you will, and I did, and you will make mistakes, because we are human and we don't know everything, and we are not goddesses. So we are going to make mistakes. But I believe that my worst mistakes were those related with my lack of confidence on myself. My worst mistakes were those times in which I let others to take over my project, that instead of following my guts, instead of following my instinct, I went against my own instinct and let others to take over my project. And that was because my lack of confidence, because everybody has soft spots in which you can feel that you are not really empowered with these areas of yourself. And of course I have mine, and I felt many times that I let others to take over my project, and as a consequence of these things, my project went the wrong way. So I have to put it back on track and learn. And I said, no, that's the last time. I let others to take over control of my project, but I did it again. It happened to me like twice. And why is that? Because we are in a society that always let us down, that are saying that women are not enough, or blah, blah, blah. You know, because everybody lives that. And now the best advice I can give you, and even though I can teach you about business canvas model and other skills, formal skills, I want you to know that you count on me to have a ear that listen to you on your doubts, on the things that you think, I don't know what I'm doing, because sometimes in this road you are going to walk blind. And that's okay. That's okay. It's completely okay. So that's, I don't want to be too long, but basically, this is my presentation. You can count on me on whatever you need. And I'm open and I'm grateful because we are going to get the most of this program together.
Thank you so very much, Isabel, for that presentation. Just to let you guys know, Isabel is one of our mentors who has basically answered the call that I sent out in the Wildlife Network for persons to come on board and support these young women after they have completed the course. So Isabel, thank you again for agreeing to come on board and also to lending your expertise, your knowledge, your experience to these wonderful young women. And we have our final presenter for the day for this wonderful orientation session where we're celebrating all women. And our presenter is Miss Christina White, or Mrs. Christina White of 3D Startup. She is recently, well, completed her postdoctoral engineering education research with Singapore MIT Alliance for Research and Technology, where she explored ways to develop global competencies in undergraduate engineering programs. She completed her doctoral degree for Teachers College, Columbia University, where she studied curriculum and teaching with a focus on engineering education. Upon graduation, Dr. White became the founding director of the National Academy of Engineering Grand Challenges Scholars and K-12 Partners Program at the University of Texas at Austin. Because of her work with the UT, she was invited to become a member of the National Academy of Engineering Grand Challenges Steering Committee and to be the Grand Challenges representative for the International Federation of Engineering Education Technologies. She consults globally with universities for interdisciplinary program development. Dr. White is a curriculum developer for the Museum of Science in Boston to design the second edition of Engineering in Elementary Curriculum. She is the Director of Programs for 3D Startup and leads initiatives to activate entrepreneurial potential in students through experiential education and a global entrepreneurship ecosystem. Her current research includes global competencies, entrepreneurship education, design-based pedagogy, humanitarian engineering, and ways to attract and retain traditionally underrepresented groups in engineering. And without further ado, I would like to pass on the floor to Mrs. Christina White. Christina, are you with us? Christina, are you there? I'm not hearing Christina. One moment. Let me see. Okay, Christina is no longer on the call. Let me see if I can get her. One moment, ladies. Let me try to get Christina back. She probably lost the connection. Okay, one moment, ladies.
Are you able to, Michelle, are you able to?
Oh, great area. Okay, guys, Christina is here. Okay, Christina, go ahead.
Speak.
Christina, we're having trouble hearing you. Can everybody else hear Christina?
It's truly this group. Are you able to hear me? No?
Okay, we can hear you now, yes. Well, I can hear you now, yes.
I can hear her.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me or no? Okay. You know, this is a really refreshing conversation in the midst of all of the challenging things that we're faced with. Are you able to see my slide deck okay? Great. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to join in this phenomenal group of women to talk to you about taking heed, activating women in humanitarian entrepreneurship, education, and design. This work has been generously supported by the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. Embassy Kingston, and 3-Day Startup. As Michelle gave me a very kind welcome, again, I'm Christina White. I've been working with 3-Day Startup as the Director of Programs, where I teach and collaborate with communities around the world on entrepreneurship education. Over the last decade, I've worked on globally activating women in humanitarian entrepreneurship education and design thinking. As a Google Trailblazer partner, as the director of the National Academy of Engineering program, and also in my recent fellowship in Singapore at the MIT Smart Center. I joined 3-Day Startup about 6 months ago as I was inspired to see the ways that this organization was empowering people around the world to make their lives and the lives of others better by learning entrepreneurial skills and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. The 3-Day Startup is a nonprofit that leads entrepreneurship programs where diverse communities learn by doing. And indeed, that's where I got to meet Michelle, and it was really a wonderful experience. Over the last 12 years, I've worked for 16,000 students in more than 30 different countries across the globe, from K-12 schools and universities to industry and governmental departments. Most recently, our 3DS team led an entrepreneurship ecosystem development program with the YLI Fellows in Jamaica, which is what brings us all together today with Michelle Samuel and each of you. And it was really neat to see other YLI alum also engaged in this current activity. Michelle's program proposal was so impressive and meaningful that we awarded her a grant to scale her ideas for this 7-week initiative to make a real impact through entrepreneurship education. So I can't wait to see what the next 7 weeks holds for us. From 3DS, we've had hundreds of companies that have launched over those 12 years. Many have exited and received acceptance into prestigious accelerator programs such as Y Combinator and Techstars that are based here in the United States. And we've raised over $208 million in investor capital. Indeed, our 3-Day Startup vision is to ignite your potential through the experience of entrepreneurship. And I can already see how well that your potential has been already lit and is starting to glow and grow. We really believe in acting locally and connecting globally. We use design thinking and lean startup principles to empower people to act locally while connecting globally. Our 3-Day Startup mission is to activate the entrepreneurial potential through this experiential education, as well as a global entrepreneurship ecosystem. Within our global entrepreneurship ecosystem and the work that we do at 3-Day Startup, we align with thought leaders from around the world who are also inspired to address the most pressing needs of the 21st century with humanitarian initiatives and design thinking. We can think about solving the most important challenges for our global citizens within the framework of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable world. And many of you are probably familiar with them. One of those sustainable development goals, and in fact, one of the most important goals in our modern times, is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. A global goal is set that by 2030, we will all have equal chances to succeed at all levels in public life. The work that we're doing together with YLI, with Michelle Samuel, and each of you is a way to strive towards that goal. I strongly believe that we are agents of change and that it is fundamental that we take heed in improving our own communities. I coined the acronym HEED since it's apt to pay attention to attend to the needs of the people in our communities, and to solve the problems with sustainable, viable, and desirable solutions. Throughout the last 10 years, I've seen and been a part of helping inspire women to be agents of positive change through these humanitarian projects and entrepreneurship education that uses design thinking to take heed. So how do we take heed of our local and global needs and empower entrepreneurial women like yourselves? Well, I think we can turn to Stephen Colte's 6x6 Peace Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Model. This model really helps us to determine the ways that the various stakeholders impact entrepreneurs. When we value these different perspectives of each of the stakeholders, the NGOs, the foundations, academia, investors, governments, and corporations, all of a sudden that entrepreneurial ecosystem really starts to thrive. Through entrepreneurship education, people learn how to solve problems and spark economic development. This actually makes the world a safer and more peaceful place. This is why governments from around the world support entrepreneurship, because it actually promotes peace. In this peace entrepreneurship model, we can understand how an ecosystem can actually support entrepreneurship. So for example, NGOs and foundations can actually work together to identify entrepreneurs. Foundations and academia can train them. Academia and investors can connect and sustain them. Investors and government can fund them, and government and corporations can enable the public policy that we desperately need in place. And finally, corporations and NGOs can celebrate entrepreneurs, like we're starting to do even here today. So our work at 3DS and with the YLI alum is actually a form of entrepreneurship diplomacy. So through humanitarian and peace partnerships, we are helping form a sustainable partnership across country borders and communities. I wanted to share a few examples that may really resonate with you, the community of women coming together to solve these problems. This first one is an example of women who are taking heed in their community needs through entrepreneurship, and they're called the Pink Panthers. The Pink Panthers are Liberia's first female fleet of taxi drivers. In their business model, they include training for self-defense so that women are empowered to work in peace. And Jamie had mentioned that earlier, that that's really something that we need to pay attention to and see how we can support our women. They've been recognized internationally for their creative and valuable company because they are modeling themselves as humanitarians. And let me tell you how. During the Ebola virus outbreak, they pivoted their taxi business to actually start to provide instead a home delivery of groceries and essentials to save people's lives. Now that we're facing this global pandemic, maybe Pink Panther can inspire each of us as ways to find, our mission to turn our dreams into reality. Another example of women taking heed in their community to turn their dreams into reality is the Self-Teaching Project. In this humanitarian enterprise, rural Indian women became clean energy entrepreneurs. They help communities learn how to actually innovate with startups based around things like solar lanterns, composting, water conservation, and irrigation. They've made such an impact that they actually earned a United Nations Climate Award. I also wanted to share another example of a group of women that I worked with in Ghana. And these women are taking heed throughout not only their local cities around Accra, but also across Ghana. These women are actually leading sustainable development in their startup called Trashy Bags. They've recycled 20 million plastic sachets that carry water. What they do is they collect them, they clean them, and they stitch them together to create a variety of bags. And these recycled sachets now turn into bags that they can sell around the world. This was, I think, one of my favorite summers that I've ever spent working alongside these women in Ghana. And my last example, how could I not talk about the women in YLI? It's last, but it's certainly not least. I'd like to highlight the women in YLI, including, of course, Michelle. She and others are leading entrepreneurship education across the Caribbean, such as with this Dream to Reality professional business training course. I hope that these examples resonate well with you when you see the range of taking heed through retail, technology, manufacturing, commercial, services, and agro-processing, as I know these are the industries in which each of you are entrepreneurs. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." I really look forward to working with you as a mentor for this Dreams to Reality professional business training course as a way of being a small group of people trying to change the world together. Please let me know how I can help during this time and also how 3-Day Startup can support entrepreneurship education in your community in the future. I really look forward to us staying in touch with each other. You're welcome at any time to email me or reach me on LinkedIn. But again, thank you so much for a fantastic day, and I can't wait to spend the next 7 weeks with you.
Thank you so very much, Christina, for this wonderful presentation. It brought back memories of our time in Jamaica. Can you hear me? Hi, Christina, can you hear me now? Can everyone else hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear
great.
you.
Okay, great. So it's
Yes,
probably
I
an
can hear
issue
you.
on her end. Okay, well, Christina, thanks again for that wonderful presentation. It brought back memories of our moment with 3DS in Jamaica and the presentations that you guys made for us. And I'm really appreciative of all the effort that was put into the material that we received and the presentations and all the research and everything, the planning that went into it. It was not easy, you guys. The 3-Day Startup team worked assiduously to ensure that all the participants coming from all regions of the Caribbean to meet together in Jamaica for this training was as seamless as possible. There were hiccups, but with their efforts, they made it as seamless as possible. And of course, I want to make mention of Nick, who was the one really pulling everything together and in terms of logistics. And I would like to say that he is actually one of the persons that I will be highlighting in our training course, because some of his material is even used in one of my other programs, Startup Huddle St. Lucia. And so you guys will be getting to know more about each of these presenters because they do play a part in this course, whether as guest speakers or as mentors. So again, thank you so very much, Christina, for that wonderful presentation. These are all our speakers for the day. And at this point in time, I want to take this moment to acknowledge the sponsors, the partners, the collaborators of this Dream to Reality professional business training program. It would not be possible without these individuals who believed in the proposal that I sent in, and also to provide that insight so that I would know that I have support. And of course, where there were issues that was ironed out, it's always when persons share insight, they learn more as opposed to only listening to what's going on in their own head. So right about now, I want to go to my screen. I'm going to share it with you guys, and I'm going to highlight each of the sponsors, partners, and collaborators. So here, you guys, we have the list of sponsors, partners, and collaborators in this program. So the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Educational Control Affairs, they are the ones who is primarily financially supporting this program, which made it free to you. Okay. Then, of course, we have the U.S. Embassy Kingston. We have the 3DS team, which Christina is a member of. We have YLI, or Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative. You'll be learning a lot more about YLI during the duration of the course. We have the U.S. Embassy of the Eastern Caribbean. Eastern Caribbean, and Barbados. We also have the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs Barbados team, or AW. We have Belfund St. Lucia, Smart Term, Royal Bank of Canada St. Lucia, Sled Terrace Invest in an entrepreneur initiative, Hannah Fitz, the Global Entrepreneurship Network, Startup Huddle St. Lucia. So these are all of our sponsors, collaborators, and partners in this project. Of course, the YLI network, which stems out of YLI, is something that you guys will become more knowledgeable about because you'll be hearing a lot more about it. And of course, you guys will become members as well. I also wanted to say thank you to each of the speakers who showed up today. Thank you to Hannah, to Janice, Lisa, Vanetta, Kyle, Lawrence, Jamie, Isabel, and Christina. Thank you so very much for taking the time out to meet with us, to speak with us, and to also share your insights and let us know what it is that you do and also how you plan to assist us. And of course, our 40 phenomenal professional ladies who are about to embark on this professional business training course. As a matter of fact, immediately after this session is closed, I will be remaining online with the blended class of the course, and we will be going into our fully fledged registration onto the Dream Builder program on the Barbados network. So I'll be assisting them in getting registered because they will officially be starting their online modules today. So ladies, again, I want to say it's amazing that you guys are here. It's amazing that you guys are willing to be a part of this. And I wanted to share a really quick video with you so that you can have a better understanding as to the importance of this program and how you fit into it. There are 2 videos I'm going to share with you in this forum. And then aside from that, outside of this session, I'll be having a private session with the 16 candidates that I will be sharing 2 other videos with. So let me share my screen on this end so that you guys can see the videos that I'm about to show you. This is where it all
Dream
began.
Builder is a really unique partnership between Freeport-McMoRan, Thunderbird School of Global Management, and the Small Business Administration Women's Business Centers. The program is made up of 13 courses. It's a fully online program. It's accessible anytime, anywhere.
My name is Celia Luna, and my company is Luna's Creations. My
You
business
cannot see the video.
bridal gowns,
You should
gowns. I had
minimize the window.
and I was celebrated like with all my family and friends. And I always thought, you know, this is wonderful. This is something that we can offer the young girls in the community. My family all have businesses. And I was kind of nervous. I didn't know if it was something good for me. Finally, this last year, I was like determined. I mean, I made the call, and that's how I started.
It has been awesome to see Elia grow as a business owner. When she first came, she had this idea, wasn't sure if it was going to work and what it would take. A few months ago, she opened a retail store. So we have seen her apply the concepts, apply the strategies. She also applied for a small business loan, and that was her startup capital.
The program Dream Builder helped me a lot from beginning to end. They gave us many information, resources, like how to apply for the business licenses, the taxes, information about bookkeeping, and it was everything. I learned to be confident. I learned to be able to believe in me, in my dream. For those persons that are interested in opening a business, I would say to them, just go ahead and do it. Just go, straight forward and work for your dream.
Our initial goal is to train 4,500 women across the U.S. kind of with a focus on the Southwest where Freeport-McMoRan has operations. Since March 7th of this year, we have over 1,900 women enrolled in the program and at some point along their journey of building their dream of entrepreneurial success.
My dream is to start a residential and commercial cleaning company.
My dream is to start a food truck that specializes in making both savory and sweet crepes.
My dream is to start a face paint company. My dream is to start a digital marketing company.
My dream is to open up a Mexican food truck.
Okay, and this was, of course, the intro video into where it all started from. And I also wanted to give you guys an idea as to what one of these pilot projects in a country looks like, which is sort of what we're doing here right now. It would have been an event such as this today if we had a venue, but hey, the virtual platform is what we have and we made use of it. But I'm going to share with you a video which shows you an example of what a launch of this type of program would have looked like.
This morning, I'm honored to be here in Bogota to officially launch WGDP's Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. AWE is designed to equip women with the practical skills they need to create sustainable businesses and to participate more fully in the global economy. This is particularly important in Colombia, where women play an increasingly critical role in the country's economic development and continued transition to peace. The 40 women selected for this program, as you see on the stage today, they have overcome significant hardships, but like Colombia, these women are not looking backwards. They're looking forwards. You embody the spirit of the future, and I look forward to seeing your successes as you influence the world with them.
Okay, great. So these are the two videos that I wanted to share with you, ladies, so that you have a better understanding as to what you're being a part of. So this next cohort, which you make a part of, is embarking on an amazing journey. You as women are now part of this amazing worldwide movement where they are investing in you and investing in your ideas and your business and knowing that you make an impact on your communities. So again, ladies, the 40 of you, congratulations on being selected for this program. Congratulations on making it thus far. Congratulations on all of what lays ahead of you. There's so much more to come. And I would also like to say that I know that we're going to have some hurdles to encounter, but by God's grace, we will make it through. We will make it together by supporting one another. So I would like to close by inviting Janice to give a vote of thanks with a closing prayer as well, especially in this time where we're facing such a crisis and a pandemic around the globe, and it's affecting everyone everywhere. I think what better way to really make a mark, what better way to really come together and to put our stamp on us saying that we're making a change is by offering prayer for one another in our various islands and countries where we're facing this pandemic. Janice, I would like you to please come forward and offer us our closing prayer.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being a part of this initiative. I really thank you that I'm a part of this initiative, you know, where I can really assist these women in whatever capacity on their journey. And, you know, really kudos to you, Michelle, on organizing such an event to really impact and to really give back to the women. And, you know, for everyone who contributed from the State Department, for all those who would have contributed in making this program a reality, you know, I really thank them and I'm grateful to be a part of it. And congratulations again to all you wonderful women who will be embarking on this journey. Now, as I'm asked to do the closing prayer here in Antigua, today is a national day of repentance, of prayer and fasting, because when we look at what is going on in the world, we really need divine intervention. We really need God to intervene at this time. And I know so many persons might be fearful. They might be worried because there is so much uncertainty concerning what will happen. We've seen the cases. We know that there have been deaths. There have been many lives have been impacted. But I just want to encourage each and every one that God is able to see us through. You know, in 2 Corinthians 7 verse 14, 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14, rather, it says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. You know, so I encourage each and every one, as I said, we know not what tomorrow may bring. We know not what will happen, but what we could do is to trust in the Lord and He will see us through. So at this time, I will offer a prayer as we go through. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, as I come to you, oh God, I just want to lift you up. I honor you. I magnify your name. There is none like you, God. None can be compared to you. You are in a class all by yourself. From everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. You are the sovereign Lord. You are the creator of the universe. You are the ruler of this world. And even though things might seem out of place, mighty God, you have everything in control. And Lord God, as I petition your throne, as I come before you, Lord, as we see, we come in repentance. I repent of all my wrongs. I repent of all my sins. And Father God, I repent on behalf of my family. I repent, oh God, on behalf of all of these ladies here. I repent on behalf of our nation. I repent on behalf of this country. I repent on behalf of the world. And Father God, as we petition your throne, you said, if my people who are called by your name would humble themselves and pray. And Father God, we humbly come before you and we pray. Father God, you ask us to turn from our wicked ways. So many times we have displeased you in our actions, in our thoughts, in our deeds. Hallelujah. But mighty God, you are a merciful God. And you said there is forgiveness with you. All we have to do is repent. And Lord God, as we come in repentance, Father God, I pray you just have your way. Forgive us, Lord God. And mighty God, as we come, we seek your face as we are faced with this coronavirus pandemic. Mighty God, it has affected so many lives. Mighty God, many persons right now are in fear. They are uncertain about what tomorrow will bring. But God, you said in your word that you have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And mighty God, as I put each and every one here, all these ladies before you, mighty God, where there is fear, I pray, Lord God, that you would remove fear. I pray, oh God, that you would comfort the heart of your people. Help us to recognize that now is the time to seek you like never before. When we look, systems are failing, but God, you, oh Lord, will never fail, and you will never fail us. So mighty God, I pray as we go through this crisis, be with us. Be with us. You promise to be with us. Comfort our hearts. And mighty God, so many persons' lives have been impacted. Businesses have been impacted. But you, oh God, you are able to see us through. Mighty God, you are our Jehovah Jireh. You are our Jehovah Rapha. You are our provider. You are our healer. You are our way maker. And Father God, I put each and every one here in your hands. I pray, Lord God, that you would just cover us under your blood. Back every plan of darkness concerning our lives. And as we take this time, as many of us are at home in quarantine, mighty God, unable to go out. But Father God, help us to use this time wisely, to use this time to connect to you, to draw back to you. Hallelujah. Because you said if we draw near to you, you will draw nigh unto us. Father God, help us to use this time to reconnect back with our loved ones, because oftentimes we've been so busy that we fail to take the time to really show the ones around us that we love them and we care. We fail to take the quality time to spend to instill good values, good morals in our children, in our family. And Father God, help us to use this time wisely. Mighty God, help us also to take the necessary precautions, to practice proper hand washing, proper hygiene, and to really boost our immune system, to do all that we can physically to protect ourselves, and then to trust you to do the rest. Father God, I pray at this time that we put everything in your hands. Business may fail, things may fail, but you, oh God, you never fail. And mighty God, I know that you will work things out. And for all those who may have contracted the virus, oh God, help them to recognize that it is not a death sentence. You are still in the healing business and you are still a healer. And for those who unfortunately have passed, mighty God, I pray, oh God, that you would comfort the hearts of those persons that are left mourning, comfort the hearts of the family members. And Father God, help them to recognize that you will be a comforter to us. Remove every worry, remove every fear, and mighty God, help us just to look to you. At this time, you said we have to trust you, and we trust that you will come through for us. And whatever happens, whatever may happen, Lord God, we put our trust and our faith and our confidence in you, knowing that all things will work together for good. And mighty God, as these 40 ladies will embark on this journey during this course, mighty God, I pray, oh God, that you would touch them, grant unto them success in their ventures, Father God, and help them to recognize that you have blessed them. You have placed this gift within them. You have given them this ability, and they're here for such a time as this. Help them to use the gifts that you have given them to impact the world. And Lord, I pray you continue to bless Michelle as she continues to empower the women of St. Lucia, as she continues, oh God, to do the work that you have called her to do. And Father God, each and every one that is connected, from the funders, for those who have made this training possible, I thank you. And Father God, continue to bless them. Continue to replenish their sources so that they will continue to have funds so they can support other ventures. And mighty God, anything I fail to ask of you, fail not to grant unto us as we look to you and we tell you thanks. Have your way, mighty God, as I look to you and I tell you thanks. Thank you for what you've done and you're about to do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so very much for that heartfelt prayer, Janice. Thank you so very much for that. And with this wonderful prayer, we come to the end of our orientation day session. I would like to remind the blended class, that is 16 ladies in the blended class, that I would like them to remain on the call so that we could go through the registration process on the Dream Builder platform together. There is some information that I would need to share with you guys. Those of you who have already registered, yes, please do remain on the call. I need to have a session with you because you officially start the course as of today. So the rest of you, feel free to say your goodbyes. We'll be connecting with you again during the 7-week period. Thank you again for being here. So only the 16 ladies in the blended class, I would like you to remain on the call.
Okay, bye, ladies. Have a nice session. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
For those of you who are in the blended class, in the WhatsApp group, you would have seen blended in the name of the group. So there are 16 of you. So if you are a member of the WhatsApp group which says blended, then you need to be here. So if in case you're not sure, I'm going to call the names so that you know who you are. Let me just bring up the list. And
I have to stay.
I will let you all know the names of the persons who should still be in on this call. Okay.
What if she's not going to pronounce my surname right?
All right, here we go. So the blended class, 16 participants, and the names are Sherry, Donna, Elsa, Shakel, Risa, Tiffany, Janelle, Isia, Erica, Winetta, Kishaya, Sherry-Ann, Francil, Donna, Cerilia, Janelle. Okay, so these are the young ladies who make up the blended class, and these are the young ladies that needs to stay on this call. So if I did not call your name, you are a member of online only class, and there are separate instructions that will be sent to you via your email and in Google Classroom. That is where you'll receive your instructions starting your modules today. So, okay, ladies. So how many of us are here right now? I'm seeing 19. Okay.
Oh. Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Okay, everybody who needs to be here is here.
Oh. I am trying to exit and I can't.
Oh,
What is
Amanda, you're trying
happening?
to leave.
Yes. I lose the thing. I can't. I don't know what is happening. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well just mute yourself for now.
I'm not even seeing I didn't even know my mic was.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Please.
Okay, so yeah, I can take you out of the group. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So all right, ladies. So we have everybody here. All right. All right, ladies. So you guys are in the blended class, and someone made mention to me that you guys are not sure what blended means. Blended means that there are two formats to this particular class, which is who you, the group that you make up part of. And what I want you to understand is that you are actually separate from the other 24 members of the group, because initially the goal was to launch this pilot with only 12 to 15 people. That was the goal. And at most, I would select maybe 35 if you know, the organizers would have allowed it. But the goal was to only have 12 to 15 people in the class. So this is who you are. This is the class that was the initial pilot. Okay, so everybody else was added on because of the high demand. Okay, so you guys really are the initial or the first or the frontline people that would have made up the pilot project. Okay, but that does not mean that everybody else will not receive the benefits that are related to this program. The difference is that we get to engage in live sessions such as this, whereas the online only class, they do the modules online on their own. I will be posting up or posting in assignments and information regarding to the course in Google Classroom for them, but I will not be engaging in live sessions with them because they're doing this on their own. All they're doing is that they're following a schedule that I have prepared for them, which they collected in their package. And they have a suggested guideline as to when they should do each module and when they should do the check-ins. But my first and foremost priority is dealing with you guys. So we do the online portion where you do the modules through Dream Builder on your own, but then we do the live sessions where we review the modules that you'd have completed online. So that is what the live sessions are for. The live sessions is simply reviewing the modules that you would have completed, doing discussions and whatnot. So this is what the blended class format would look like. So we meet from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. twice a week. Those of you who have your schedules, you would have seen what those days actually are. Each of you got a copy of the schedule. For those of you who, who do not have a copy of the schedule and who are here, I can provide you with the dates I can call out the dates for you guys so that you will know what dates that we will be having our live sessions. Okay, so for the blended class, your modules officially begin as of today. So for the first 2 modules of the course, which is Start Your Dream and Explore Your Dream, you have between March 26th and March 29th to complete those 2 modules on the Dream Builder platform. Then on March 30th, which is on Monday, we will be meeting from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to have our session. And this is how the session will go. We will have first the Entrepreneurs Exchange, which would be the review of the modules completed. Then we have activities and group discussions. Then we have our guest speakers, entrepreneurs, or experts. And those would be persons who you would have seen speaking today and persons who you would have seen on the website, okay? Then we have our networking break. For this particular portion, since we're not in a venue, that is when we break away from the class. That will be for a period of 15 minutes so that we can get something to eat, go to the restroom. During this time, you can, disable your video and just kind of do something until we have to reconvene class. Then we move into coaching session where the presenter or the co-facilitator would have had materials to share with you, where we do an interactive activity. Whether it is you are put into pairs or put into groups, you would be participating in a coaching session. And then finally, action steps. And this is where the journal that you would have received comes into play. So the journal that you received is where you would use whatever information that the presenter gave you, and they would give you a scenario and tell you, what would you do in this scenario? And they would give you a few minutes to write out what it is that you would do relative to yourself and relative to your business. And then what would happen is that you would share this information with another teammate or another classmate that you were paired with. And then that individual will also then comment on what you wrote on. So they would give you their feedback. And that is what we call interactive journaling. So it's not just you writing down what it is that you want to do, but asking somebody else's input on what you decided to do, and then hearing what they have to say. And then what happens is that when we reconvene, we then ask you to read out what this individual wrote to you and what is that you wrote and what the individual wrote on whatever it is that you wrote to them. So this is what interactive journaling is. And there are times you would also be provided with assignments or homework to do. And again, that will be provided in the Smart Term platform that we will be using for our live sessions. So there are 2 logins that you would require. One login is for the Dream Builder platform where you'll be completing your modules. And the second login is for the Smart Term platform where we do our live sessions, which is twice a week for the 4 hours, okay? Now, in terms of the modules, as I stated to you, there are 13 in all, and you are slated to complete all of the modules by May 4th. So that is the plan that we're gauging, that you would complete all the modules by. And then we have our course review. So after we're done with the course, we have a course review of everything that we've run through. And then on May 11th, we have graduation. Now, May is still a little ways away. We're not yet sure what the situation is going to be like. If by that time things have died down, then we would have a graduation where everybody meets together. But if not, we would have a graduation celebration similar to what we're doing right now. We will have persons invited to speak to you guys, to tell you guys what your prizes are, because there are prizes up for grabs for persons who complete. Only persons who successfully complete the program will be recipients of those prizes. So keep that in mind. Also, you would have done the first 2 surveys, which would be the self-assessment tests. And I saw the scores of that. You guys did amazing. And also the what to expect survey. So these are the 2 surveys that you'd have required to do before you start the modules today. Okay, so the next postgraduate survey will be done after you complete the course, and also after each speaker, a co-facilitator that takes part in the live session, you'll receive a survey to give your feedback on their presentation as well. Now, in terms of the manual, you will receive a manual in the platform that will be attached as a file that you can get access to it, and gives you the actual items of each of the course prior to you starting each module. So you have an idea beforehand what are the topics you're going to be covering. Also, in terms of navigating the system, there is a video that shows you how to navigate and also setting up your system for the Dream Builder program. I'm going to play this video for you right now. Also, it is available on the website. So those of you who do not or have not seen it, you will not see it on the website on the drop-down list. You will not see it that way. You'd only get access to it through the instruction email that I sent you. So the link that I gave you is what you open up to see the page, and that is the video right there. So the video tells you what your technical requirements are, what your browser should be, so that you can get all set up. So what I would like to do, for those of you who have not yet registered onto the Dream Builder platform, do you have any issues with signing up, or would you like assistance with doing that right now? Okay, great. So those of you who do need that assistance with registering on the platform now, you guys are welcome to stay. And the others who have already registered on Dream Builder, you are welcome to leave the session. Just let me give you a couple of notes here, a couple of announcements, that you are to complete modules 1 and 2 as your schedule states. Modules 1 and 2 between today and the 29th. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you should be done with modules 1 and 2 by Sunday. Okay, because come Monday 30th, 9 a.m., our live session starts, our live class. So we'll be logging into SmartTerm, and then we'll be discussing and reviewing the modules that you completed. So just again to let you know what we'll be doing on Monday. So please follow the instructions on your schedule. If you have any questions, my contact information is on the schedules. For those persons who have not yet collected their package from Melly's Mix It Up, which is Mylika's restaurant, please collect your packages because it has your schedule in your package, and also your pencil and your journal that you will need to write down the information that we'll be using for our sessions. So please ensure that you collect your packages before Monday. Okay, she's open until 5 p.m. So if you're unable to collect it yourself, you can have somebody collect on your behalf, but you must let me know who that person is and the name so that I can communicate that to her. And then that individual has to sign for collecting your package with photo ID. We're not just going to give anybody the packages. Okay, these things cost money. So again, for those of you who have already registered on the Dream Builder network, you would know that we are on the Barbados Academy for Women Entrepreneurs Network. Okay, so they are our partners in facilitating this project. So if you have already registered, ensure that it's Barbados that you selected as the country, because that is the network that we are partnering with for the program. Okay, I am one of the administrators on the platform. So once you log in and register, I would see your information there. Also, please go ahead and edit your profile, put in your photo and your information so that it is populated whenever you sign into the system. So ensure all of that is done, of course, when you log into the system. And please don't rush ahead of everybody. I know some of you think you probably know it all and you've already, you're familiar with it. You've been there, you've done that. We're doing this together for a reason. Okay, so I understand that you're excited and you probably, want to get ahead, but we're doing this together. And I will know if you're ahead. Trust me, I'll know because it will show. So, because I've done the course myself too. So I will know if you've already done it because I'm going to be monitoring you in the platform. So don't think I won't see. Every module you do, I can see it. So please, patience, we're going together at a very slow pace that everybody can follow. Also, let me show you a bit of the material that you're going to be using. Let me just share my screen really quickly so that you can see what it looks like. There was no way that I could have printed all of this out, I'm telling you right now, because that was just way too much material. The material that you'll be using is called the Dream Builder Workbook, and it has all the other resources that you would be needing in addition to what you'll see on the platform in Dream Builder. Okay, so that is supplemental material, and that is also material that you can have printed out if you choose to do so. But just warning, it is over 100 pages. So if you would like to invest in printing over 160 pages, then by all means, you are more than welcome to do that. Okay, but I would not advise you to go ahead and print over 160 pages. Okay, so I will again be attaching those as files. You do also have access to it in the Dream Builder program, but if you want to access the files outside of Dream Builder, you can find them in the SmartTome platform under your files. So I'm sharing my screen. This is what it looks like. So this is Dream Builder Business Plan Workbook 1 under Start Your Dream. And it shows you the topics that will be addressed, the key points, and all of this. So this is supplemental material to use along with your online Dream Builder course. Okay, so that is the physical pages that you can, if you, like I said, if you'd like to print out. And here it asks you specific questions that you enter, because this is what you'll be entering into to your online business plan generator. Okay, so this one is for Explore Your Dream. So these are the first two modules we'll be doing. These are the key points, and this is what you'll be seeing in the SmartTome. So until SmartTome is activated, you won't see it there. Jamie said we'll have access to SmartTome by Sunday, God willing. So once you guys have that, this module will be available to you. Also, the course description. This is also will be available to you as well in the platform, the course descriptions. It shows you all of the modules, all 13 of them, and the topics you'll be covering. You will have that manual as well in the platform. Okay, so in terms of the the videos, those of you who have already registered, have you encountered any issues with registration, or are you all set to go? Those of you who have already registered.
I think I have a little problem with mine. I'm not too sure, but we'll have to recheck it.
Okay, well, we'll have to do a one-on-one to get you all set up, because I have to ensure that everybody is ready. Because as I said, between today and Sunday is when the first two modules have to be completed. Anybody else have any issues?
I do have issues.
Okay, Tiffany, what's the issue that you're facing?
When I was registering, it would just tell me something about my email address. It won't go through as yet.
Yes,
so I tried that with the email address I gave, and I tried it with another email address, and it would keep on telling me the same thing. So yeah.
Okay, well, what we will do for the two of you, since you're having a similar issue, I will walk you through the process using the same shared screen so I can see what you're doing, and then I'll be able to at least give you some guidance based on that. So you'll be able to share your screen with me so you can stay on this call to get that done. Does anybody else have any issues?
I'm good.
Okay, great. So
I do.
Okay, you have issues as well?
Yes, the same issue
The
as
same issue?
Tiffany.
Okay, great. So the three of you will need to stay on the call. So anybody else who is having issues registering, please remain on this call. And the rest of you, if you're all good to go, you can leave the call. But of course, know that I am available. You have my contact information. You can either message me privately, because we don't want to bombard the rest of the members in the group of members for announcements only. So message me privately if you have any issues, and I will assist you as best as I can. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys leave. And the three of you who've had the issues, you can remain on the call.
Okay, thanks. Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy.
Okay, we'll just wait for everybody to leave, and then we'll get started on solving that issue that you guys have. Okay, Maria, just letting you know that I'm going to be removing you from the call. Okay, so we are all here. All right, ladies. So we're all facing you all facing the same issue. So I'm gonna start with Tiffany. You would need to be on your system, and you need to share your screen so that I can see what's happening, so I can guide you through the process. The other two,
No problem.
I'll need you to do the very same thing. Log on to your system, and we'll basically take turns in sharing the screen so that we can guide through the process and get this all
To
started.
our system, as in our emails?
No, the Dream Builder.
Oh, you want us to go to the website?
Yeah, because I want to be able to see what it is that that's going wrong there. And when you get there, please share your screen with me so I can see.
I'm on my cell phone. I do not know how you share. I don't even know if that's even.
Okay. I'm not sure that is possible on the cell phone though.
Yeah.
But what you can do is that you can follow the same process that you see, and you try it out after the call and see if that works. If it doesn't work, then you get back to me.
Okay, or I can just, okay.
So I can start sharing my screen now?
Yes, you can, yeah.
Okay. Yes, okay. Can you guys see? Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so I'm on the website.
Okay, you're not in the correct place.
Yeah, so I would need to go to the email you sent and redo everything in order for me to get the link.
Yeah, so I will put in the chat
the link.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it directly there.
Okay.
Hi, I think I did mine right this time.
You did it right this time?
Yeah, I got through.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
But you used the exact link that I sent, right? Because that's the network we're going to be using. Because if you sign up the wrong place, you'll be on the wrong network.
Yeah, I realize that.
Okay, I'm seeing that you look like you have access. So, okay, one moment. Let me just get access to. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording for this part. Because that's a separate, session that we're doing right now. So just letting you know, I think you guys know that I'm stopping the recording, okay?
Okay.